You've got a business to run, big and heavy products to ship, and customers who need them now. When you've got the right driver and the right equipment, you can bet on a spectacular result. Bennett understands complex logistics and puts the best team, the most time, and the latest technology into every customer relationship. So you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the race. Let us handle the rest.
Together, we can move anything.
Hello and a warm welcome to the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series presented by Pirelli. I'm Jonathan Green. Alongside me, Adam Andretti, as always. He'll be racing this weekend in TA, but we turn our attention to the very important TA2 Championship, which as we go into the second half of the season is really holding up nicely. So far, it's been a story about how Nitro can have any one of many winners, but Silver Hair have bounced back here at Road America with pole position and Jake Drew.
And that's what we love about this Q3 TA2 Architecture Series is just that. I mean, no one stops working, and Nitro has climbed ahead clearly here in the 2024 season, winning all these races, completing all these podiums. But as you just put it forth, Jake Drew, the youngster up here on the pole, showing that Silver Hair's here to play for real.
Just 24 years of age, has only got a handful of races under his belt and already in pole position. Big day for Silver Hair, and we've seen their success with Maurice Hull and the rest of the team over the years. But a few ringers. We've got Rafa right to our left, leading the championship by over 100 points, and Mike Skeen coming back. Always going to be a competitive run.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, the legend, Rafa Matos, Mr. TA2. He's no one's won more races. He's a two-time champion. Certainly looks like he's got like a few fingers wrapped around his third championship at the midway point of the season. And Mike Skeen, there's so many people that want to see Mike Skeen in a TA2 car. The amount of support he got to be here today, amazing. And anytime he climbs behind the wheel of anything, you got to worry about Mike Skeen.
10 seconds. Track conditions.
Track conditions are phenomenal. All weekend long we've had a ton of grip. So big difference from pit race and Mid-Ohio the last two rounds where we were just fighting for grip. Here it's a ton of grip, so we'll see how those tires last and how that grip plays into the role as we get through 100 miles.
Ton of grip on the asphalt, but a lot of wet weather last night means it's slippy off track. Should be very interesting. Jake Drew on pole position. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with Ben Sissel to walk the grid. How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HD2 system.
Kind of controls things, and he rockets by Zimmer.
There's Boris said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around.
There's the green.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at this absolutely beautiful Wisconsin weather at Road America, which is always a great Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series crowd. We've got a lot of spectators here at the fan walk, so welcome to you. But first time at Road America, Jake Drew, our pole award winner. So I guess you love Road America.
I'm loving Road America so far, and all this fan walk is great. I'm really excited to get going here in this Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race today. Starting from the pole, my first pole of the series, as you mentioned. My Silver Hair crew brought me an amazing race car, and we've been fast since we unloaded and hoping to finish the job today.
Nice, yeah. Maurice Laura with Waukegan Farms and Quarter Horses that always put together a good car. This is only I think your 7th race in Trans Am. And then at Road America, everybody in Trans Am wants to be on the pole at Road America. It just means something more special.
Yes, it's so special. And Maurice and Laura, like you mentioned, they give me such amazing opportunities, and it's a dream come true to drive this beautiful race car today. And I'm hoping to finish the job strong.
Nice, I love it. Well, congratulations, good luck out there. Like we said, we've got a ton of fans out here. Look at this kid right here, for some reason in a hoodie. Are you a Trans Am fan?
Oh, big time, of course.
So who do you think is going to win this race?
I mean, is that even really a question? The GOAT right here, Mike Skeen.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We have a Mike Skeen fan here calling him the GOAT. Crazy. But here we go, Mike Skeen, TA2 champion, first time back this season. Mike Skeen, you're doing really well. How's it going out there?
Good.
Well, that's not Mike Skeen. This is Mike Skeen, but he's got red hair, so it's an easy mistake to make. But former TA2 champion back in the series. Welcome back, and then to be starting 4th at Road America, that's got to feel pretty good.
3rd, actually. Yep, we inherited one yesterday after Tech, but yeah, super happy to be here with M1 Race Cars, Team SLR. Having the support from Cube 3 and Franklin Road Apparel has been great. I love being at Road America, love being at TA2, and really happy to have the Marko Nikolic Foundation on the car, help support them and carry them forward. Hopefully we can represent them well today.
Nice, I love it, and I hope you heard from that weird-looking fan over there, Mike Skeen fan, so keep it up, Mike Skeen. Then we come back here, Thomas Merrill here, and look at this, going back in time with the old Kodak cameras, the disposables. But how's it feel? I see you've got the umbrella on because the heat has increased like 20 degrees just since this morning.
Yeah, but it feels good to be in HB Tuner's backyard here. It's a great race for Keith and I, and he's sitting on the pole in the Pro-Am field, so we're both really excited to do well in front of all the fans and all the family.
Nice, I love it. Thomas Merrill about to get after it. Then we come back here, Connor Mosak. I was talking to Connor Mosak earlier because Connor Mosak always feels like he comes to Road America, does really well, and then leaves a little bit on the table. And I was asking him if he felt like Road America owed him, and he says, no, that it's up to me to win this thing. So you're determined.
Yeah, I think we've actually got a really good car today. I think the best one we've had all year. Just kind of qualifying was my first laps on track this weekend, and then had some traffic issues and stuff, but I think we made some good changes, and I'm really excited for today. I think we can drive this thing to the front.
Nice. Well, Connor Mosak with Silver Hair Racing, another Waukegan Farms Quarter Horses car out there that always does really well at Road America. We've got Marvin Gray here talking to Adrian. Sorry, Adrian, but hope I'm not interrupting prayer. But Adrian, Road America, you've got to love this place.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting place. It's a lot of straightaway speed, high-speed stuff. The kink's really a lot of fun. It's high commitment, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, turn 1's pretty wide, so I think you could see 3, 4 wide through there. And then hopefully we're past it and have a good race car with 30 minutes to go. I'd like to thank CMI, Compass Manufacturing International. They make sink products, sink kits, faucets, stuff like that. AMT Motorsports, upstate New York. They make Corvette race parts for Corvettes. And Spot On Services from Texas.
Nice, I love it. Adrian Lostowski. I'm going to come down here. We've got Bacon. Where is Bacon? Caleb Bacon with CB Motorsports. We've got his team here. Sweet Cheeks is here. Oh, yeah. But, this car is looking good. You guys have been working hard on this thing.
Yep, trying to keep it together so we can go out there and race and hopefully do good today.
Nice. Well, that's Sweet Cheeks, but we've got Caleb right here. Caleb, I'm letting your team talk for you, but the car is looking good. What do you think of Road America?
Oh, this track's amazing. Every time we come here, this is probably arguably one of the best tracks we come to. It's just great for this car. You got high speed, low speed, mid speed. It's just amazing.
Nice. I love it. Well, there you go, Caleb Bacon. Now, I got to come across here because from HP Tuners, he had his whole family here. They've all left, but, HP Tuners out of Chicago, so it's not too far for them to come. I love seeing not only in their black HP Tuner shirts, but they got your name and number on the back.
Yeah, so we got a lot of fans, a lot of friends and family and coworkers here. It's my home race. It might be the 40th time I've actually raced here, so a lot of years, about 20 years. Qualified first in class, got a lot of fast drivers around me, but yeah, feeling good. I think we got a chance at the win here. It's going to be a tough race. It's hot, it's heating up. Thankfully it's dry, but yeah, we're going to give it a go, and yeah, we got a shot.
Nice. I love it. Keith Prochek, HP Tuners, good luck out there with Mike Cope Race Cars. Then over here, I was speaking to Brent Cruz, last year's TA2 Cube 3 Architecture TA2 champion. He's not here, but he's pretty disappointed with his starting position. Last year, he started first and finished first. Jimmy, live on the scene, what's happening here?
We'd have to ask Joe, the crew chief, but we're going to be okay. We just want to make a race out of it. Brent has got a lot on his plate this week, running the Trans Am race and all, and we screwed him up yesterday and gave him some brake pads he wasn't used to. So we qualified 5th, but we're going to move up to 4th. But now we're going to be 3rd.
No, we're 11th. You're
11th.
You're talking about a different race. Let me talk to somebody who knows what's going on. Joe, what's going to happen here?
Hey, I thought you wanted to talk to me.
The only thing that's going to happen is Brent's going to do what he does best and be the cruise missile, and Franklin Road's on the side, and hopefully everyone sees this beautiful orange car going forward.
Nice. I love it.
Don't ever talk to me again unless we're partying it.
Jimmy Live, I love you, man. I'm sorry.
Lime Rock, here we come.
Lime Rock, here we come. Josh Hurley,
yes, sir.
You know Road America really well. This is going to be a crazy race.
It is. The braking zones are really challenging here, so you never know what you're going to get. All it takes is one person to make a mistake, and it bunches the whole field up and can cause a mess. So it should be a show. There'll probably be a little more bumping and grinding that we necessarily want to see, but my plan is to take advantage of that and be in the front by the end of this race.
Nice. I love it. Josh Hurley there. Now we come here to Austin Green, who's always super fast here, Three-Dimensional Services Group. Back with us. Austin, I know you got to be a little bit disappointed about the finish at Mid-Ohio after leading the race, but here at Road America, I feel like Road America hasn't been super nice to you lately.
Yeah, it's my most favorite track, so hopefully today we can turn that around. But you know, hats off to all the Peterson guys, and huge thanks to Doug Peterson as well. We got a super fast Three-Dimensional Service Group Ford Mustang, and qualifying didn't really go in our favor, but it's a long race, and hopefully we make it to the front.
Nice. Austin Green, Three-Dimensional Services Group. Now I have to give it up. Boris Said Jr. here at Road America. His dad has so much history here, and this is his most upfront qualifying position ever in TA2. That's got to feel good, Boris.
I mean, yeah, it feels great. I love this track. I mean, the HendrickCars.com Silver Hair Chevrolet is awesome. We've been, pretty quick all weekend, and I think we're in a good spot, and it should be a good race.
Nice. I love it. Boris Said Jr., the HendrickCars.com, this beautiful number 75, another silver hair car. Then we come up here, Rafa Matos. Different approach to the racing because Rafa Matos is leading in points by quite a margin. You qualified second, but what's going to be your strategy?
Well, first and foremost, we need to get a clean start and race from there. It seemed like I'm racing against some experienced guys. Jake Drew is a very clean driver, and Mike Skeen, we've raced together for a long time, so hopefully everybody will keep it clean, and usually these races are decided in the last 5 laps, so I'm hoping to get to there and figure out what we're going to do.
Nice. I love it. Well, Rafa Matos, Nitro Motorsports, Concord American Flag Company. This is the Cube 3 TA2 Architecture TA2 Series. This is going to be a lot of fun here at Road America. Now I'm going to give the microphone to Bill Knox for our invocation.
If you join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we give you all the praise for this glorious day, for us being at this storied facility. Father, we ask that you protect everyone here, the drivers, the crews, the spectators. Most of all, we ask that you protect the safety workers and the medics, Father, since they're doing their job to help protect us. And Father, we ask that you overlook our military and our first responders, that they too may come home daily to their families. In your Son's most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Bill Knox, thank you so much. Bill Knox, one of the Trans Am staff, but also with Road Race Ministries. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're at Road America. It could not be more perfect. Anton, I'm going to have you come over here, but we've got Anton Pietenpool, who just gave us a great show last year with the National Anthem, highly suggested by John Everett and the Road America crew. So, Anton, take it away.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. Anton Pietenpool, thank you so much for doing this at Road America. Jonathan, I'm going to send it to you in the booth.
Great stuff, Ben. Thank you so much. And once again, I'm joined by Adam Andretti, who will be with us for the duration of the race. And obviously great to have Andretti's insight onto this, simply because he's going to be out there tomorrow, and he's been out there already today. What are the conditions like out there? I'm glad to say the wet weather that we had yesterday has gone.
It's a gorgeous day here in Road America. I mean, this is what you dream about when you go racing, is this kind of weather. So we're definitely blessed there.
Here's the grid then. Jake Drew with his first pole position for Silver Hair. Rafa Matos, our championship leader, by 118 points alongside him. Then it's Skeen back into the scene, usually with IMSA, but also a former champion. Annunziata, what's he going to do? We're here. He's starting at the back. We'll talk about that in a moment. Boris Said Jr. and Thomas Merrill, Austin Green and Connor Mosak, very strong row 4 and row 5. Hurley and Lostowski, both capable of coming forward here at Road America. A little further down, row 6, Brent Cruz. Now, you heard he's on double duty. He's also racing against Andretti tomorrow. And Caleb Bacon alongside him for CB Motorsports. Keith Prochek and Thomas Ellis. Good to have them both on board. Row 8, Barry Bowes going great in Pro-Am. And Gio Ruggiero in row 8 on the 40. Then it's Jared Odrick and Tommy Sheehan. Matt Tift, his second race in a row. And Michelle Abati from Nevada. She also competing in PA as Tommy Sheehan it is. Brad McAllister, Doug Peterson, Eric Caton, and Jim Gallagher. Patrick Paul being looked after by Evan Slater. I want to talk about him in a moment. Matt Gray, Doug Winston, row 14, Patrick Oot, and Ty Young and Bruce Nesbitt, row 15. So a packed grid, and Ben Mayer will start at the back. Now, he had a ride height on his rear wing that was not in the rules, or it was not at the right height, and so therefore they penalised him. So Ben Mayer, a bit like Annunziata, should come through. But again, what is Thomas Annunziata doing at the back? He seems to start every race there.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely passed more cars than anybody in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series this year, maybe anyone in the history at this point in the season. I know this is not what they want to be doing at Thomas, to be coming from the rear, or that 90 car Nitro Motorsports. So I have no idea.
But the infraction was just not making the grid, right?
It just didn't make the grid. They weren't rolling to the grid, so I don't know if it wouldn't start on pre-grid, or the car wouldn't start on pre-grid, or what the case was. I did see them there talking pretty intently with the officials, so I don't know once we get rolling here if any of that will change. But, the grid was set here for the fan walk, and that's why we didn't see anything happening, and why he's set up in the back.
As you can see, we'll be on board with Adrian Lostowski in the CMI onboard V-Box there, and a nice view of him. You'll be able to watch exactly where he's on the brake, where he's on the throttle, and more importantly, that picture there shows you his hands working, and I'm sure Adam Andretti will likely comment when he sees a driver in trouble, because you can tell so much from the hands of a racing driver as to his comfortability in the car.
Yeah, so much of our feel, comes from obviously the steering wheel, and some of your most sensitive nerve endings you have are in your fingers. So that's when you pinch your finger and things that hurt so bad. And but anyway, it gives so much feedback. So yeah, we'll get a good look at Adrian and many other in-car and onboard cameras while we're out here to really kind of dissect what each one of these drivers is going through. I anticipate that they're not going to be fighting too hard. There's a lot of grip on this surface. This surface was new to Road America last year. And if you remember last year, everyone was complaining about the lack of grip, similar to what we were complaining about at the new surface at Mid-Ohio last week.
Yeah.
And so, but now it's had a season underneath it. Now there's some grip here. I mean, we are seeing some serious speeds. For a TA2 car to rotate around Road America and these 4+ miles in 2 minutes and 9 seconds, Jonathan Green, is absolutely amazing.
Well, as I said, Rafa Matos leads the championship with 670, 118 over Thomas Merrill. Important day for both Merrill and Annunziata if they're going to stay with Rafa, because 100 points is getting to the point where he's not running away, but they got to catch him now, and they need to get some good points, especially Annunziata, who continues to lead the young guns ahead of Ben Mayer. And with Ben Mayer and Annunziata starting at the back, that's going to be a good battle for the lead of the young guns. There's a confirmation of those. Let's head once again now down to Ben Sissel as we get ready to go racing.
Well, thank you. I'm here with Grant Bentrude, one of my friends in the paddock, and Emco Gears is one of our great sponsors. They really keep these cars, especially in the TA series, running. Grant, tell us a little bit about Emco.
Yeah, Emco is an aerospace company that, we manufacture parts for aerospace, but we also like to manufacture parts for race cars. And we're proud to be a partner of Trans Am. We make a 5-speed transmission that the Trans Am, the TA1 cars will be using tomorrow's race, and just really happy to be at such a great historic track, and excited for this Cube 3 Architecture TA2 race.
Nice, I love it. And we all know Road America can be a little bit hard and heavy on the rear ends, the differentials, the transmissions, and the running gear. But Grant, most famous words of motorsports, take it away.
Drivers, start your engines.
Perfect. Hey, nice job.
And with that, we are underway. I'm just thinking about Adam Andretti, and all the Andrettis, of course, must have all raced here at some point. Do you remember your first race at Road America?
Oh, you don't forget your first time at Road America. It's such a special place. My first race here was in a go-kart, believe it or not, and you think you're going faster than God would allow anyone to go in a go-kart, and pretty amazing. Big thumbs up there from Mike Skeen, and that's a man right there that anytime he's behind the wheel of a race car, you better beware. And so he's going to be someone that's going to maintain that front and be there at the end. And on board here with Ty Young, and in the Pro-Am group, I believe we have Ty Young, so he's leading Pro-Am here on the grid here today, so this will be good for him, a good day in store for Ty Young.
And we welcome our viewers on BAV TV. It's a beautiful day here in North Wisconsin. We are near Sheboygan, and set fair for what should be perfect conditions here at Road America. We heard that the track was resurfaced earlier last year, and it's now bedding in nicely. No complaints of grip. Like I said, we had a lot of rain overnight, so there's got to be something that you've got to think about either. Not that you're going to be going off the asphalt, but if you do, it's going to be very slippy out there. I think this is going to be one of the most competitive races we've had. It's a long track of 4 miles. You don't want to get into trouble stuck out by Canada Corner or whatever, because it's a long way to get you back. We've had some great racing here in the past, and given that we've got Skeen back in the mix, we've got Rafa Matos on the front row and Jake Drew looking for his first win, you've got a feeling that, this could be really interesting.
Oh, absolutely, and you have a couple of hot rods passing me right now at the tail end of the field, and Ben Mayer and Thomas Annunziata that are going to want to climb through this pack. I remember in 2021 watching Rafa Matos come from dead last from an infraction after qualifying, and could have won that race with any kind of caution that would have come out, would have been his race to win. So this is anything can happen here at Road America. You have plenty of passing opportunities, so the day is not over for Thomas and Ben by any means. We're going to see them come to the front. And then, as you just mentioned, there's some strong runners up front. I mean, Rafa is tough to beat, and he's super tough to beat in this Nitro car. He's been proving that all year long, and he's always been tough to beat at a place like Road America. So he's going to be the start is going to mean a lot. He even said it. That's what the butterflies are in his stomach, are all about getting this start, a good, clean start. And once he gets that, he'll put his head down for 100 miles.
We'll be on board with Barry Bowes and his BC race car. And the man leading, of course, in the Pro-Am Series by 6:57. He's 109 points ahead of Tommy Sheehan, Keith Prochuk, Jared Odrick, and Jim Gallagher, all racing in our brand new Pro-Am Series. And that has that's really seemingly got Bose going right where he needs to go. I was talking to him earlier in the weekend, just saying really, the incentive of having that Pro-Am championship and leading a championship, having that pressure, it just adds to the weekend. It just gives him, rather than a midfield finish, it gives him a chance to really, really go for it. And he has been all year long.
Yeah, and I think, the Pro-Am's been not just great for him, obviously. I mean, you have a lot out there that are Jared Odrick and Tom Sheehan, and you have these.
Hey, so I'm Boris Jr. and I'm going to be giving you a guide to Road America. So we start off with turn 1. Here you're braking at about the access road on the right. It's a really, really good spot for passing. On the start, it's pretty chaotic. You can go on the outside. Turn 5 is a really, really important corner in the start. You have to protect the inside. There's a lot of passing that happens here at the track. It's really technical in the brakes. After that, it's sort of one complex of 6, 7, and 8. They're all kind of one corner. After 8, you go into the carousel and the kink. These again are kind of one complex. The carousel is pretty grippy on the inside this time. The new pavement. After the kink, you come into the back at the end of the back straight. You come into Canada corner. Turn 14 is the most important corner on the track. It's up a steep hill, and there's a lot of passing that takes place outside of that. So that's a lap around Road America. Personally, this is my favorite racetrack by a lot. So I'm pretty excited, and that's how you drive a lap here.
Well, but as you can see in that blue and white Hendricks colours, thanks to his dad, and of course those are the colours that Kyle Larson carries in NASCAR. So quite a lot of pressure on that youngster, just 20 years of age, but he's coming on, and he is a chip off the old block. Boris said, of course, had a storied career, which he now pretty much has put up to bed, but he does still do a little bit of TA now as a master, and but now he's kind of focusing on helping his son go good. As I said, we're on board with Lostowski and Bose, and this is going to be a good view from Lostowski. He really feels as though he can come forward. I spoke to him last night, and he said, you know what, drivers always make excuses about their equipment, but he said, today, the input has to be me. It's me that needs adjusting, not the car.
Yeah, and that's a great thing about an agent of Lostowski is he's not a person that points a finger, and honestly he'll point at himself first and try to work on what he needs to work on. So good on him. I'm sure he saw some areas. Biggest thing in a TA2 car, some of the biggest lap time you can make is in the braking zone, and you have to really dip deep into your pocket of courage, Jonathan Green, when you're approaching these corners, to get deep on the brake zone. But it looks like they're all bunched up, and we're going to go green flag here, buddy.
Don't forget the two cars at the back on the left in green. Annunziata missed the start grid. He starts at the back. Ben Mayer had a rear wing infringement. He got dubbed and knocked to the back as well, but we expect both of them to come through. There's the iconic shot I told you. Welcome, race fans. It's Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America Trans Am muscle cars on their way to the first corner. It's the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series, round 8, and away they go. Good start from Jake Drew. They're all queuing up behind him. Rafa Matos holding the field back. Merrill looking for a way past, but can't do it. And on the outside, it looks like Boris said, gets away well. Austin Green right behind him in the all-yellow three-dimensional services. If we go in board with Lostowski, who may get a chance to get ahead of Austin Green going into turn 2, and he does just get a nose in front.
Yeah, Adrian got a great start. He's alongside. Looks like he really wants to hop into this toe of Connor Mosack and that Silver Air car and get down this straightaway. And Connor's getting behind his teammate of Boris Said Jr. And it looks like the straightaway speed of three-dimensional services car is really picked up here. They're deep down on the brakes into Mission Foods, turn 5.
Oh,
big
lock up
by
for the
Josh
BC
Hurley.
car. That's Josh Hurley on the inside. Luckily gathers it all together, but he's side by side with Cruz in the number 1, who slightly goes wide, gets bounced around. Prochek is just behind him. Is that an Annunziata coming on?
That is an Annunziata. No, I mean, this is Road America. You can make up a lot of time in a quick amount of time here, Jonathan Green. I mean, a half a lap here is like a lap anywhere else.
Yeah,
so,
good point.
So, yeah, he's making up some of that ground like we knew he would, and I'm sure Ben Mayer's right there with him.
Where do you go for an overtake here? Obviously, turn 1's obvious. Where else?
Where don't you go?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, no, there's places everywhere. I mean, you got turn 1, you've got turn 3, you've got turn 5. You can get them certainly down into 8. You can sneak in on the carousel. You get a good run off the kink down in Canada corner into turn 12. There's a good passing opportunity there.
Kink coming up right now.
Yeah. So this is good stuff. Jake Drew did exactly what he wants to do. Got out front. Got himself. Who's P2 there? I didn't notice who got that. Was that Rafa? Rafa got into P2. So Rafa, grabbed his second position and was able to maintain that and keep that going. And then Mike Skeen there in P3. So the top three kind of coming through the first lap exactly how they took the flag.
Yeah.
Ooh, Skeen's way off here.
Whoa, what's going on with Mike?
It looks like he had a little bit off there in turn 13. It can get tricky there. It is blind, but if you lose the front there or you lose the rear, you start chasing that all the way through. So don't know which one he lost from the angle that we had, but that's not your typical Mike Skeen. And Thomas Merrill's there to pounce. And Thomas, he's ready. I mean, this is a driver and a team that's been struggling on the last couple events. And, seeing it, I think I had more confidence in Thomas than he had in himself. But now the green flag's dropped. He knows he's got a good race car underneath him. You're going to see a performance out of this guy.
Yeah, he's had a lot of bad luck in the last few races. He was grass cracking last week at Mid-Ohio, had to come into the pits. He's still second in the championship, but like I said, 118 points is a lot to lose, and as he stands at the moment, he's 2 behind Rafa in this race in 4th position. Got Mosak behind him, Green in 6th, Lostowski 7th, and Hurley said 9th. He's dropped back, and Bacon it is, who I was looking at early, is in the top 10. Keep an eye on Mayer and Nunziata. They have moved forward, 21st and 23rd now from the start of this race, so they are slowly but surely making their way, but we are under caution again, and that slows it all down again.
Yeah, we're going to be under caution at this point, and I'm sure Code 60's come up. We got Patrick Paul here dead on the back straightaway out of the kink, so this is on the way to Canada corner. That's not an ideal place, so this was a good call by Tim Richter. Get the field slowed down, get the safety crew out there, clear that track. Good news is there's not a bunch of scattered bits and pieces everywhere, Jonathan Green. It should be pretty quick. I mean, I'm telling you, I'll go ahead and toot the horn right now for Road America and their safety crew.
Yeah.
You're talking about some of the best here in the country at a fixed location racetrack. They are quick, they are on to action, and they are ready to. They want us to go racing just as bad as we want to go racing.
Yeah, and Patrick Paul, incidentally, it gives me a chance, sadly, my only chance, really, because he's out of the race, is being coached this weekend by Evan Slater. And Evan just wanted to remind me that the car that Mike Skeen is in has already taken a 2nd place this year in the hands of Evan Slater. So we hope to see him back in a car soon. You knew he was going to get that in.
And hey, I love that young man, and for good reason. He's fast. He's got a great personality. He's a really likable kid. He deserves to be out here. I think we all feel that way. And so for him to go and remind us of how good he is and his performances, hey, I love it. That's what we need to have. And he's certainly, everyone that knows him knows that he's not a cocky young man. This is all just a good, confident pull.
Under caution, Drew, Matos, and Skeen, your top 3. Down towards Canada corner then, line astern, under caution. What do you do? What's your system check when you're under caution like this?
I mean, we're so early, we didn't even get tires fully up to pressure. That's why we were seeing a lot of lockups that we were seeing. And so tire, right now it's about even maybe keeping up, like you see Austin Green doing, trying to keep some temperature in. These Pirelli P0s, they lose temperature pretty fast. Any Formula One fans out there, that they struggle with the same thing in a Formula One car, and we're far from that. So these P0s kind of have that same personality that we have in the Cube 3 TA2 Architecture Series, is they'll lose temperature quick. So you can see the drivers here knowing that, are trying to keep the temperature in the tire, keep those pressures up, and so that when it's time to go green, they can drop the hammer and go.
Talking to Formula One, I loved it. Keith Brochuk stopped me on the grid and said, "Hey, how about my boy Piastri today?" And I was like, and then I kind of thought about it for a moment. And of course, he's a partner with Piastri and HP Tuners. His father, Piastri's father, runs HP Tuners with Keith Brochuk. So a great combination, and shows Trans Am connected to Formula One.
Yeah, it's Keith Brochuk's so fun to be around. Period, no matter what. And then he it's fun because he'll bring some of the behind the scenes that he knows of the Formula One paddock, and that's always insightful. As you know, it's no secret what Andretti Global's trying to do there, and so it's kind of fun to hear some of the insights that he gets. But it's an interesting deal, and but we're here. We are Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Racing at Road America, and we just couldn't be happier. This is such a great place to be. The fans are amazing. I mean, I love the fans that we have out here. They always show up. You could have a tricycle race here at Road America, and the fans are going to show up to be a part of it. And so we thank them for that, and all the workers here to put on a great show. everyone that cooks that great food down at the Gearbox and all those. So it's a really, really great place to come. We all look forward to it.
Keep an eye on Brent Cruz. He's 11th at the moment, and of course he is our current champion. Not doing the full season this year, but bigger things expected of him. He's doing double duty this weekend as he also races in TA.
I know a little bit about that double duty.
Yes, as we welcome our MAV viewers back. Yeah, a bit of double duty. How was it at Mid-Ohio? Must have been a long weekend.
It was hot and then it was wet.
Yes.
And I was wet when I was hot.
Yeah.
And then I was cold when I was wet.
Yeah, you can't win, can you?
No. It was ups and downs, strikes and gutters.
But is it not easier? But does it keep you more dialed in when you're on the track more?
Oh, of course, and especially when Mid-Ohio had that new surface. You know, I mean, it was funny, like the adjustments we were making on the TA2 car, because we were always in that before the TA car. I could take all those adjustments to the TA car, and it translated, and we brought our TA car right up to speed. So yeah, it's important, and I think Brent's getting a little bit of taste of some double duty. This won't be the only time in his career that he's going to do that along the ranks of his racing career. You're going to see him do that, a lot of this, I'm sure. And he's a guy I would love to see do that Memorial Day double one day in his career, right? Do the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. I mean, I think he's a future star. That would be certainly be someone that could be targeted for such a privileged position, but he's doing really well in the TA car, which we would expect, and Poncho's, and I'm going to tell you, this is early on. He's going to come to the front in this TA2 race. I give you that.
Yeah, and we'll watch him tomorrow in that. I spoke to Poncho Weaver and asked why Brent was, thinking about doing TA. Was there any reason? He'd wanted to do it for a while, but he was ill at the start of the season. He wanted to do it at Sebring, but didn't get a chance. And really, Poncho's answer was simply that the feeling was with TRD, i.e. Toyota Racing Development, he's part of that program. And so Toyota just want him in anything. They want him racing as much as he can at highest level and more horsepower, and that's hence TA. More experience, that's closer and closer to NASCAR. That's where he's going.
Seat time. You can't replace mileage underneath you. And the younger you are that you can gain that mileage, the better off you are on the long shot of your career. And I mean, Brent Cruz has done things in his young career that nobody has ever done. I mean, when I say nobody, you can bring up whatever name you want to bring up: Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, any of those names. He was in a 410 sprint car at age 12 winning races. He was in a USAC midget at age 12 winning races.
He got dispensation to do the Chili Bowl, I remember.
Yeah,
and he got dispensation to come in our championship.
So he's been in big cars since age 12. We've never seen that. Like, it was an eye-opener when Jeff Gordon in the early 90s was in a sprint car at age 15.
Yeah.
You go 3 years younger than that, and you're finding Brent Cruz. So, we've been developing a lot of wonderful young talent here, and we see him going places, and that's what's been beautiful to watch.
Let's head down to pit lane. Ben Sissel has got a story for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm here with Chris Seibel, and he's trying to pawn this off on anybody on his crew. He doesn't want to talk on camera. With Doug Peterson and three-dimensional Austin Green currently running 6th. And I know this race means a lot to Austin. So what's he saying on the radio so far this early in the race?
Just trying to save the car for the long run. It's getting kind of dicey out there on the start, so just trying to keep the nose clean to make it to the end.
Yeah, it is weird in TA2 that we run a 100-mile sprint race, and they really go. Like Austin, who's starting in the front, you can't hold back either, but you still try to save the car.
Yeah, it's really a big deal to try and get out front and try to get a gap, because then you can really start saving your tires when the guys start coming at you pretty hard. So he's just trying to fall into place and save it for the end.
Now, Doug Peterson, what's Doug Peterson saying on the radio?
He's having a blast. He loves racing all these guys. Kind of wished he'd have started a little bit farther up front, but still gives him a lot of cars to try and pass and a lot of guys to race. So.
Well, Chris, I don't know what the reluctancy was. You did great. How about that? He did really good, right? See, even the crew says you did good. So maybe next time you'll want to do the interview with us. All right, Jonathan, Adam, back to you.
It's because you're so intimidating, Ben. That's what it is. Everybody's frightened of you. You come in bowling in there, as you should. Good insight.
All bullish.
All bullish.
No, it's and Chris said it best there. I mean, you're really doing everything you can to be there for that 100 miles to make sure you got something left at the end. Road Americas, you have a lot of heavy braking exercises here because you're carrying a lot of speed.
Yeah, let me ask you about the tyres. We often talk, well, we always talk about the longevity of the tyres for the 100 miles. What about this track, the resurface, and the length of the track being 4 miles? Does that change how the deck goes?
You know, I mean, from what I've seen in our TA car, I haven't seen massive tire deg, and I haven't watched and observed the TA2 cars actually experiencing that as well. So I don't think tire deg is a huge issue here. And part of the reason is, you know, unlike Mid-Ohio and pit race where you're constantly turning, right? There's very little straightaways, and you really got the car loaded up a lot, loaded on the tire a lot. Here at Road America, you know, every time you get the wheel straight, you feel like you could do your taxes. You're on it for that long. So you know, it gives some time for the tire to just kind of relax and get its ease back. So, you know, there's some TA2 drivers I'm sure will correct me after this if they were experiencing big time tire deg.
Yeah.
But I haven't really honestly observed it. So it's going to be a mystery for me, and it'll be interesting for me also watching this race to see how that plays out.
Well, the safety car lights on the Ginetta are out, which means we are going racing very soon indeed. And in fact, you can see that the pace car has pulled away at the front, so we are line astern, the entire field ready for the run up the hill at Road America. It's still early on in this race, just 3 laps gone, but it's Jake Drew, the pole man, with the championship leader Rafa Matos in second. Mike Skeen coming into the championship. Of course, he's a regular now in IMSA, but has done pretty much everything in his career. He's an FIA silver driver, which means to you and me, he's darn good.
Oh yeah, he's you know, 2020 TA2 Cube 3 Architecture TA2 champion too. So
for Miller Racing,
yeah. So he's very, very familiar with what goes on here and how this place, how these drivers race, how these cars race, how this works over 100 miles. So that's why I say, you know, you never, anytime Mike Skeen's in the building, you got to pay attention because he's one to watch. And as I said earlier, there's so much support for him to be here. You know, Franklin Road Apparel with Ken Thwaites jumped on board to make sure he's here. Cube 3 Architecture, Nick over there, M1, Scott Legacy. He's, you know, having a driver like Mike in your cars only elevates your program. And then biggest thing is this Louis Schreiber, Marco Nikedek Foundation. Tragic accident that happened, no-fault accident that happened a couple weeks ago that where a life was lost. And so our thoughts and prayers out to you. And you know that Mike and Kelly are here supporting you and putting out a good run for you.
Jake Drew was worried about restarts. He had a chat with you because they moved the bollards, right?
Yeah, they moved the cones. He was asking me if I saw him. I was like, why did I need to see him? We were in practice. I didn't need to see him. But there's such a long run down to turn 1, and that's your concern is the toe. Is the car behind is going to get that toe, and they could pop at any moment to get that run. So you're going to see a pretty heavy protection to the inside here at turn 1, I would say.
Should do. Well, up the hill they come and starting to accelerate as we're on board with Lostowski on the CMI on board. Away they go, the green flag waves, and across the crest they come. Jake Drew in the all silver and red leads the pack. Rafa Matos looking, jinking to the outside. Skeen follows him, but they're not going to make it. Merrill locks up for a moment, so does...
Yeah, that's Connor Mosak. Yeah, Mosak had a lock up underneath. He did get a good run off of turn 1, through 2 here in the little kink, and then into turn 3. Looks like Austin Green is going to be deep on the brakes. They'll have a drag race down the straightaway into Mission Foods turn 5.
So much talent in that lead group, including former 22 champion Thomas Merrill, who needs a good result today. He's had a bit of bad luck, but he's been lucky in the points. He's been consistent. But he wants to now carve a little bit more out of Rafa's lead. But he's got to get past him first. Here comes Rafa on the brakes. Oh, that's textbook Brazilian magic from Rafa Matos at turn 5. That's how you do it.
And Merrill is going to get up underneath. So Thomas got around Skeen.
And Drew.
Down the straightaway. Mike Skeen has lost 3 or 4 spots here in just a couple corners.
Wow. Yeah, Jake Drew goes from first to third in a matter of corners, and that is good news for Thomas Merrill because now he's got the prey in sight. That's his arch rival, first and second in the championship, but reverse because Rafa Matos leads the way from Thomas Merrill. We go back on board Lostowski in 7th place as they go through the carousel.
And I was a little curious of if Skeen was having some sort of top speed issue or any kind of issue of how quick he lost, but he seems to be tucked right up on the back bumper of that three-dimensional services group Mustang of Austin Green.
I earwigged into a conversation between Evan Slater and Rafa Matos. Evan said, hey, you got this today? And he goes, yeah. He said, I think so. He goes, but not in a straight line. In the corners, I'm good, but not in a straight line.
Yeah, and I tell you, Connor Mosack is ready to go. He's right on the tails, making a move right on Jake.
Canada.
Yeah, I do believe that was Connor getting underneath Jake Drew. That was a silver hair on silver hair crime. So, but they gave each other plenty of room.
Take a look at this.
Yeah, this is a great deep break. I mean, Rafa is the latest of the late breakers. So this is not a surprise move. Got a good toe down the straightaway. Make sure he got a great exit off of 3, I'm sure. Open the door for Thomas Merrill. And Josh Hurley, Adrian Vlastowski out of turn 14.
Bit of hurly-burly and a bit of Lostowski lost in action for a moment, but okay.
Yeah, and then Thomas looking down the inside and giving a little juke down into Q3 turn 1 onto Rafa Matos.
How hard is it if you're Jake Drew or just any racing driver when you've led the race, you've done the restart, you've done everything right, and then you're kicking yourself because you're in third? How quickly do you have to kind of reset your mind?
You know, you have to have a very short-term memory as a race car driver.
Be a goldfish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You have to put all that behind you, put the head down, race forward. And, you know, Jake's doing a great job. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I think Adrian might have a little issue here. He seems to be... Doesn't seem to be pulling.
Yeah, that was a very quick overtake.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be pulling down the straightaway. He seems to have some sort of an engine issue.
Here's another look.
But yeah, so he's got Josh coming inside of him there, and I think maybe he went down, wasn't expecting, and they're both off into the dirt here.
Turn 14, yep. Nicely done. Luckily, Lostowski.
And like I said, in turn 14, you're not really expecting a pass.
No.
You know, here's the onboard. You're not usually expecting a pass. He left some room down there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Josh maybe lost a little bit of the front. And, you know, you're kind of twisted up there, and it's a hard place to get deep on the brakes. So.
Had a chat with Lostowski last night and was talking about Nathan Hearn, the Australian, who came in with, again, guns blazing last weekend at Mid-Ohio. And I said, hey, thanks for letting Hearn put on a show for us. And he goes, I said, any chance to do it again? And he said, yeah, we're looking for it later in the season. So, Australian fans, if you're watching, we want your best.
Yeah,
bring them over.
Austin Green has moved himself into a podium position, getting around Connor Mosack. So we have now a new top 3 with Austin Green getting up there in P3. Having a little cleaner race at this point than we had last week. So,
Jared Odrick taking a very unwise
sending
move.
it in there on Barry Bowes.
Send it there. Well, that was a Hail Mary in football terms.
Yeah, it was.
Ex-NFL footballer, but he's learning his way. I had a quick chat with him on the grid. He's loving being in a Nitro team. He's going to learn so much.
Oh, he's doing a fantastic job. You know, he and I spent some time talking Thursday night socially, and you know, above all, he's just such a grounded human being. He knows where he's at in the sport right now. He knows where he wants to be. And the great thing about him, what he understands more than most is, as a professional athlete at the top level of a sport, he understands the mental game. He understands what he has to keep, you know, straight between his ears. And I mean, the most diligent note taker, I can almost guarantee, inside this entire paddock. When Tyler Caceres, Jared Odrick is writing it down.
Yeah.
And that's the way you get stuff to really stick in your brain. And so, you know, Jared is making huge strides week in and week out. And he's going to be a serious contender for this PA championship as this year goes on.
Tyler Caceres also looking after Brent Cruz this weekend, so a busy weekend for him. As through goes Ben Mayer. Look, he's already taken Keith Prochek in the Pro-Am. So Ben Mayer flying at the moment. He's up to 12th place and Nunziata up to 14th. We'll keep an eye on those two. There is Nunziata just going through the back shot there. Barry Bowes on board with him.
And that Prochek would have been for P11. So he's up to P11, almost into P10, the youngster and Ben Mayer. And that kid is calm, cool, and collected. I wish I was as calm as he is when I was 15. I'm not that calm at 45. And but yeah, he is so calm and focused, and his head's down on what he needs to do. And I really feel strong about his future, and in any way that I can try and help it out, I'm going to be there for him.
Somebody went wide there. We'll see who that was, but Lostowski's got past it. But 7 laps now of the 25 completed. It's still Matos, Merrill, and Green, your top 3. I don't know who that was that went wide. We're trying to work that out. But we'll find out. So fast through the kink, isn't it?
Oh, this is, you know, they're exiting the kink here onto this is the back straightaway heading to Canada Corner, and yeah, it's so crazy fast through there. I mean, that is, when you talk about level of commitment at a racetrack, that's the biggest level of commitment we have anywhere we go, is the kink at Road America.
Yeah, it was Jim Gallagher who there, the number 16. In fact, you can see him recovering as they go up the hill there.
Yeah, Green got Thomas Merrill. So Austin is out there. Austin is not the fastest car on the track. That is still our leader, Rafa Matos, in clean air. But Austin, about a 10th and a half behind Rafa as far as lap time goes. And Thomas has kind of been falling off a little bit. And Connor Mosack is starting to come back alive, setting some of his fast laps. And Mike Skeen is coming back through the field, got around Jake Drew. So that would be for P5.
Yeah, for 5, excuse me. Yeah, Jake Drew's surprising me. He kind of needs another caution, I think, just to regather, because he's down in 6 now, having led this race at the stars. We're back on board with Barry Bowes. Down to 5 again. Heavy braking down here. There's Skeen.
Yeah, Mike Skeen there, playing a little defense. I'm sure the pass that he made on the 7 in turn 3 kind of gave him a little bit of a sacrifice down that long straightaway into Mission Foods turn 5.
Here's an onboard of, or replay of Lostowski.
So yeah, this is where we're looking for the car that ran off.
Yeah, Jim Gallagher.
This is the Jim Gallagher. And he got a little help from Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, little Eric Caton gave him a little bit of a love shove and moved him out of the way. And so I'm sure, there will be some discussions after the after the checker flag drops on that
Bit of chrome horn.
Yeah.
All good stuff. Well, perfect conditions, great racetrack, and a very strong TA2 field. This, of course, the longest road racing championship in the USA. We started way back in 1966, and Road America, in fact, is the one track we've been to more than any other track in the USA.
And we're getting word that Patrick Paul, for the Patrick Paul fans there, the reason why we were under yellow for his dead car was electrical issues.
Yeah,
so,
it looked like it, yeah.
It's a shame that their race and their weekend gets ended so early like that. And they're on a limited schedule as well. So when it's limited time and you don't get to run the 100 miles, it really kind of puts a bummer on your whole weekend. As we see, Brent Cruz is climbing through the field. He's right behind Mike Skeen. So we got Brent Cruz there in a P6 position already. Kind of what we expected from that young man is to go and come through this field. But Rafa Matos still setting fast laps out there. I tell you, he is. That lap was over 0.3 of a second faster than Austin Green. He's pulled himself out to a 2.7 second gap. He's going to get out there and do what Rafa Matos always does best and manage this race as best he can.
Well, Drew trying to recover. I asked him who he gets advice from, and he says that he talks to Connor Zilic a lot. Obviously, he was a long-time silver hair man too, and Zilic has been, in his corner, if you will, giving him advice about different tracks and how to race them in these cars. And of course, Zilic, perfect guy to ask.
Yeah, no, Connor's a superstar. We all know that. I mean, he's been almost unbeatable in anything he's driven this year. No matter where he goes, ARCA, Xfinity, trucks.
Ooh, this is going to get tasty at 5.
Yeah.
In fact, Drew has...
Yeah, Brent Cruz was the loser on that one, unfortunately. He got out there on the rumble strips. When you get on the rumble strips with these Q3 Architecture TA2 cars, you lose all forward drive.
Do you really?
Yeah, you definitely kill your forward drive there, and we saw that.
Oh,
with the
forward drive.
And we got Doug in the kitty litter. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck.
Going backwards.
Let's hope he doesn't get stuck there. Nice and smooth release to the clutch, and maybe he can stay on top of it. Nope, we're under full course caution.
Well, he's wearing camouflage, so no one notices this one off, so he's all right.
He's not. Look at that smooth. Look at Doug Peterson. Smooth engagement.
I like the colors on that car.
That's a beautiful car. That's a tribute to Bruce Miller.
That's right.
A very close friend of Doug, a Vietnam veteran. He suddenly passed away on us earlier this year, and very sudden. He shot a lot of pictures of this Trans Am paddock over the years, a lot of pictures, and that portfolio I'm sure floating around somewhere. And but Doug Peterson running that tribute scheme, but saw him right before I got up here in the booth.
There's Peterson going off. Yeah, he came together with the 24.
From the 24
Brad
there.
McAllister, yeah.
So McAllister, again, the camouflage, maybe Brad didn't see him. And
you beat me to it.
But yeah, that's a shame for Doug. But again, like the pro that Doug Peterson is, smooth release of the clutch, got him out instead of Doug in the kitty litter there, and he'll be coming back around. But it looks like Adrian's going to be preparing for a pit stop and coming in for a pit stop. So I think that contact that got him out there at the Bennett Bridge Hall turn 14 earlier in the race, I think that contact has caused something that they feel like they need to pit for.
Well, as you can see, the Corvette getting ready to lead this field around the track. I'm going to update you on Annunziata. He's 12th at the moment, and Ben Mayer in 10th. So good point scoring positions. You can score over 100 points in a TA2 race with fastest laps and pole positions and so on and so forth. So anywhere in the top 20 is good points in Trans Am. So you never want to give up, regardless of what's happening. But we're under caution. 8 laps gone. This is our second caution of the day. So exciting stuff. But it's Matos who leads. Green is second. Merrill is third. Connor Mosak is fourth. So there's an art to the restarts, obviously, but Matos knows that art, and it's, well, I don't think you can fool the guy behind, but you can sort of plan your own. It's the one time in racing that you can plan your restart.
Yeah, no, Rafa's pretty coy. He's got a lot of tricks in his pocket, and you know, he doesn't ever show them all. He shows them one at a time. So we'll see one of his new tricks on this restart, I'm sure, because you're going to need to pull anything you can to keep that 89 car behind him. That car looks like it's been handling pretty good down the straightaways. You know, so I think it's going to be pretty important to, and like I said, it's a long tow. It's a long tow into turn 1, and we saw what the restart completely jumbled our running order last time it came out. So I'm excited for it personally. From up here in the booth, Jonathan, I'm glad I'm not in the car.
You know Rafa pretty well. You've raced with him as a teammate as well. His decision to join Nitro, certainly Nick Tucker wanted his insight with his youngsters that he's got, because sometimes setup with a 2-time champion can be very useful. Or was it more that he wanted to be with a championship winning team?
I think it's quite simple. You know, Rafa Matos is a winner. He's a champion. Nick Tucker is a winner and a champion. That whole Nitro group is full of winners and champions, and that's what you surround yourself, right? Birds of a feather are flocking together, and so yeah, I think it was an opportunity. The opportunity presented itself, and when you have a guy like Rafa Matos on the driver market, you can't let him slip through your fingers, because it's either have him race in your camp or have to race against him.
Yeah.
And which would you rather do? I would rather have him in my camp. You know, he's only going to elevate your program, which he's done. It's shown that. I mean, Nitro's been all but unstoppable, and I know it's not just Rafa Matos that does that. They do, you know, you win races at the shop, and Nick Tucker and his group are definitely doing that. But you can't discount the way that Rafa elevates every program he's been part of.
So, under caution still, we go up the hill under the Corvette Hill and down towards the back of this long 4-mile circuit. But we're about to explode into action again.
I would hope so. I think, I think no matter what, we're clear of everything out here. So I have a good feeling that we should, get this thing under green rather quickly.
And as we welcome our MAV viewers back, you've missed nothing. We're under caution still. Matos, Green, and Merrill at the top, and leading in PA. Prochuk, Bose, and Odrick. Great to see Jared Odrick, who is just starting out his career in motor racing, having basically had a very star-studded NFL career and a movie career, I may add. He's worked with the likes of Sylvester Stallone and many others. So kind of an exciting cat to have on board, isn't he?
Oh, he's a superstar. No, he's a superstar. And like I said, he's so grounded. You have no idea, about him. And other than when you go to research who he is, he's very
get
humble.
out of a car and he's played football.
Oh yeah, I mean he either played football or been in the World Wrestling Federation. He's a very his physique is very solid and as you would expect of an NFL defensive end. But yeah, he's a race car driver now, and that's what he wants to be known as. This is his career shift. He's a race car driver. He's competing. And as you know, Jonathan Green, and the fans at home watching this, and anyone that Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, one of the most difficult race series in all of the world. It is a very challenging series to run well, and his goal this weekend is to be in the top half of this field. Hey, buddy, you're P15 right now, as far as I know. My math, my public school education tells me you're half up on the top half of the field.
And by the way, he's ahead of Hurley, our E-champion from a couple of years ago. No slouch whatsoever.
5th in national points is Hurley.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
So yeah, he's holding his own and doing a wonderful job, and excited to see this. He learns every lap, and like we all do, but his learning curve is much steeper, and he's absorbing that.
All right, Adam, I'm going to put you on the spot. Seems to me, this track, and we're seeing it here at turn 14. We're going to do another lap, but this time, next lap will probably be green. If you are Rafa Matos, how do you go about attacking turn 14 and the run up the hill? Because this is a tricky one, because you've got a long run to the first corner, so you've got to defend, but then you've got to accelerate to get the lead. Well, to get away from the pack, you've got to accelerate uphill.
Yeah, I mean, we have a restart box, so he's going to be way past turn 14 before he can even start to bring this field up to speed. So, no, yeah, again, if I were to sit up here and speculate on what Rafa's going to do, I'd be way wrong. You know, because I made that mistake before sitting in a race car trying to speculate what Rafa's going to do, and I've been way wrong.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm excited to see it and excited to call what he's going to be up to because he always keeps us on our toes.
Well, we just heard that the safety car, the Corvette, will be coming off at the end of this lap, so we're about to see what Rafa does do. And Green, son of a former Xfinity champion, now racing in Xfinity himself, as in comes the 49.
That's checking a wheel bearing. When he's checking that, he's checking if there's any kind of slop in the wheel for Patrick Oot there, and to see if there's any kind of give. If there's give there, then we have a wheel bearing issue. Last thing you want at the speeds that we carry here, good sensitive feel to be able to pull in and have your crew look at that. You know, so you definitely don't want to have that come apart on you. So Patrick, good on you getting that thing in here, getting that Camaro in here nice and safe and sound.
You gotta love Tony Garcia. He's like a kid in a candy store. He's got the camera between the mechanic's legs while he's tightening the wheel. He knows no bands.
He's got the angles.
He's got the angles.
He's got the angles down.
But he's like, it's the view you really want. It's like, oh, get me a little closer.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, again, we got from the back, Ben Mayer already up into P9.
That's pretty impressive.
Thomas Annunziata already up to P12. And
let me ask you this. You just mentioned Ben Mayer. Of the youngsters, because they obviously are the future, we're going to see them as household names. Ben Mayer is one of them. Who impresses you, both either on the racetrack or as an up-and-coming star of the future?
I mean, it's hard to just kind of, you know, put it in one, right? I mean, obviously, I think Brent Cruz is special. He's a generational talent, just like we're seeing in Connor Zilic. You know, I think those two are super. Reminding them all, between the Brent Cruz and your Connor Mosack, your Austin Greens, your Ben Mayers, your Thomas Annunziatas, and Connor Zilic's, they're going to be racing against each other for a long time.
Yes, and they have been already.
And they already have been.
They've been, racing a decade.
And so, I mean, and it's great for our sport to have that. I keep reminding them, you are exactly the breath of air that the sport has been looking for here, and it's going to be exciting to watch what they all do with that and how it all plays out. But I'm impressed. I mean, Ben Mayer has made huge leaps and bounds, improvements. You know, and his speed is there. He's super fast. Thomas Annunziata, he's totally driven. His head is down. He puts a lot of effort into this on and off the track to be here. Brent Cruz, same way. Him and his dad, Matt, they're so sharp. They're so in tune on what they need to do, what steps they need to make, and keep a Ben protected, protected at this point in his career at all areas, safety and they take everything so very serious. So, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint onto just one. They're all so talented. And you know, Marco was telling me in ARCA, every name that Marco was naming last week in Mid-Ohio, man, that guy's fast, that guy's fast.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I know. They came through TA2.
They raced against me,
Yeah, we trained them well here. But, yeah, it's a really, really talented group here. I can't express that enough.
Yeah, you're talking about, of course, Marco Andretti, who he and Connor Daly were in a great battle a week ago or so in Xfinity, and great to see them both taking to NASCAR and enjoying it. Former Indy pole winner, and of course, one of the men who led the race this year, Connor Daly. 500, I should say.
Yeah, and a shout out to Boris Jr. holding strong there too in P8. We haven't mentioned his name much today, but he deserves a mention. You know, he's staying up there in the top 10, staying up in the fight. We'll see what happens on this restart here, Jonathan Green.
Yeah, talking about NASCAR, what an honor to wear the Hendricks colors. I mean, that is a real, I know it's because of his dad, but that's a real honor to be, associated with that team in any way. As you can see, the Corvette is off. Now it's up to Rafa, up the hill. This is what I'm talking about, and this is where it's tough. He's got to accelerate away and defend from Green.
You see his brake lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't go. You're not going anywhere.
This is one of the Rafa tricks I haven't seen yet.
Away he goes.
And he got a good jump.
Merrill
got a good jump,
too.
and Merrill got a good jump on the 89 here. So we'll see what happens down here in turn one. But it looks like
a
little bit of debris
up
there going on. But looks like Rafa got a super clean start here to get down here into Cube 3 turn 1. They get through there nice and clean. 7-car and the 1-car champion, defending champ of Brent Cruz, sitting there. 89 playing a little defense on Thomas Merrill, the 26. And Rafa Matos up front saying, see ya.
Yeah, see ya. Under the Sargento Bridge and down towards turn 5 then. Matos, Green, Merrill, Mosak. Good restart from Mosak. We're on board with Ty Young now, as he is also trying to come forward. He's all the way back in 22nd place at the moment.
And let's hear, it looks like Thomas got a run down the back straight. We're going to have to go around the hard way. Going to try to do the over-under up the hill. I don't think it's going to happen here.
No.
To Roy, he's going to try.
Maybe.
Nope.
Nope, not quite.
I'll say, man, you got to be pretty brave right there. That's a tough move to pull off. You got to really be alongside your competitor to get up there at the top of the hill to make that move work. So, but Thomas, he's itching. He feels he's got speed, especially on the restart. It looks like that 26 car really fires off. When we saw the last run, the 89 car took like 4 or 5 laps for Austin to really come up to speed, and then once he was there, just picking them off one by one. So it looks like Austin has to be a bit on the defense. The car doesn't want to fire off. Not quite as good as that 26 car, and certainly not as good as that 60 car out front.
Yeah, I got to say, Rafa Matos has gapped them very well in just a very short period of time. Look at that, 4 or 5 car lengths as they come through the kink after the restart, through the Customers Bank and down towards Canada Corner yet again. Rafa in good fettle, and a little bit of damage to Brent Cruz's car there. We just saw a little bit of body work, but it won't do any harm, I don't think.
I wonder if that's what we saw on the front straightaway when we got the restart.
Oh, somebody's gone wide at Canada.
You know, I always say some of the body work on a TA2 car feels like it's made of paper mache. You can't make much contact with it, and it'll blow a hole in the nose. So yeah, so I believe that's what we're seeing on that #1 car of Brent Cruz.
Out of 14 they come then, and some really good battles. There's a bit of damage also
40,
to Odrick's car.
Oh, I think that's Gio. That's Gio.
That is, you're right, sorry, that is Gio.
Yeah, that's Gio Ruggiero, and some fender damage. Maybe it was his body work we actually saw.
Another youngster coming through.
It looks like Brent's kind of clean. He might have a little bit
just
over
on
here
the right-hand side there,
rear.
you see it? Yeah.
On the rear of the car, which would make...
This is a mess.
Yeah.
Now, this is like last week with Chris Dyson, isn't it?
And I know the hood doesn't look like it's all that up, but that's right in his eyeballs. That's right in his vision.
Yeah, he's really low in the car.
Yeah, and he's got a fender that's sitting there just flailing around. And we're going to get a good look at the rear of Brent's car here, it looks like. And it seems pretty clean.
Rear, it's just the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Good camera work, though, thank you. Lostowski gets away and gets past because he's slowing.
And don't look now, but Ben Mayer, P7. Thomas Annunziata, P9.
Here he comes, Little Big Ben.
Little Big Ben.
Cruz dives into 5. There's our man, Boris said. He's got Skeen behind him.
No, that's Barry Bowes.
That's Barry Bowes, yeah.
With Tom Sheehan.
Same colors.
Yeah, that's not an inter battle, right? Like that's an overall, sure, but that's a pro-am battle right here between Barry Bowes and Tom Sheehan.
Yep. Bowes now leading in PA. Sheehan had been leading, so Bowes 12th overall. Jason Ruggiero in 11th place, but.
And PAA, you can see it on the left-hand column on the top of your screen for a home. PA is for Pro-Am, so this is a new class within a class that we have, and it's we're obviously training. We talk about it, the pro drivers. So, the names you keep hearing us mention about in their futures. So the Pro-Am, those are the ones that are going to go back to a daily job on Monday.
Exactly.
And go to work and to pay their bills. And the pro drivers, they're using this to pay their bills and feed their families.
Right,
so that's why we have the difference. You see the IMSA fans see the same thing between GTD and GTD Pro. It's very, very similar.
We've been very lucky. We've taken a lot of Pro-Am drivers or semi-professional drivers and really turned them into professional drivers. Scott Borchetta springs to mind immediately.
For sure.
Obviously from the music industry and a big investor, of course, in both Trans Am and IndyCar. But what he did was amazing, actually.
Well, it was. I talk to him about it all the time. I mean, he legitimately was a podium car, and what you've heard me say already is one of the most difficult series in the world to compete in, and some of the most high talent drivers that you're going. Oh, Michelle Abate.
with Michelle going off. Michelle Abate from Las Vegas, Nevada.
And we're not under caution, actually. We're still for a course green.
Okay,
we were froze on the screen. We had some technical difficulties, so apologize for that at home. But yeah, that was we're still green flag racing here. And
got plenty of coverage. Don't worry.
And Gio's in here. Gio's in here with a fender off and
Ruggiero.
And they're just looking for my man here just wants a sawzall. Get him get this man a sawzall.
He looks strong enough to actually rip that off, though.
Yeah, and he's being respectful, and I love that.
There you go.
There you go. Just muscle that off of there.
It didn't take him much, did it?
No.
Like you say, there's your paper mache.
Now we are under full course caution.
Okay,
we are under full course. And that's after everybody really, I mean, like 3 out of the top 5 just turned their fastest lap of the race.
Yep.
Right then, so that says a lot.
Well, Gio might get back out there. There's the Corvette, and there is coming up from behind or coming up the hill, Rafa Matos. So it's still Matos, Green, and Merrill. That's your top 3. Mosak is 4th, but the big movers are Ben Mayer now up to 7th and Annunziata up to 8th. The pair of them are almost working together.
I bet you Rafa does something different on this restart.
All right. I might put you on the spot again and see what it is.
I just know.
You don't know, do you?
No, you don't.
We're in that building to the left, so that's our view.
We're on board with Adrian. Another rough day for him. He's struggling today down at P16. Had an off-course excursion there at the Bennett Bridge Hall, turn 14, and earlier in the race. That didn't get a real super clean shot of what exactly happened there, but really, really interesting stuff.
So, under caution, as we have been, and there's not been anything major. It's just been a few little breakdowns, one electrical and then a spin here, there. So nothing much, but Matos still leads the overall race, and in PA, it's Barry Bowes in 13th and leading Pro-Am. Back on board with Ty Young.
Yeah, Ty Young here in his Mike Cope Racing prepared Ford Mustang. Always having a great time.
Mike Cope's got a big entry both here at Mid-Ohio and Road America. Really, like the other teams, really growing with the number of entries he's got going in there. And of course, Thomas Merrill probably his go-to guy as the top man in the team.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we love about being in the Trans Am paddock. It's a full paddock, and we got a lot of great competitors here. And looking at one there, Josh Hurley, colleague as well, right?
Yeah.
Up here in the booth, calling TA races for us when he's not in the TA2 car. He's doing a great job. I had some fun racing with him at Mid-Ohio before he had his mechanical issues. They had a wheel bearing that was seizing up on him, but he's there having a good battle with Boris Said Jr. Big winners on that restart were Ben Mayer, Thomas Annunziata. Some of the drivers and Caleb Bacon. Some of the drivers that struggled on that restart, were like Boris Said Jr. Did not really enjoy how that restart went down. But yeah, we're gonna get another shot at it this time. And then the restarts, I mean, that is so important. That is your easiest opportunity to make a pass on your competitors.
Now, you saw Odrick going wide, or at least going deep at Canada. Well, he was up in the top 12, wasn't he, at one point, or in the top 15?
Yeah, he's in the top 15.
He's dropped down to 24th after that incident.
Yeah, no, it can happen quick here, especially, on these restarts when we're all bunched up. And, yeah, he definitely had some sort of a mishap that has pushed him pretty far back within the Pro-Am rankings. But we're looking right here, Barry Bowes is leading in Pro-Am. And then from there, you go to Tom Sheehan, who's right behind him on track, and Keith Prochek right behind him. So they don't have anyone to interrupt their race between the three of them. And Barry Bowes has 2 very long-tenured TA2 drivers behind him, and Tom Sheehan and Keith Prochek, both over 100 starts.
And we welcome our viewers on MAV TV back to the action. But don't worry, you've not missed any action because we're still under caution. But it's still Matos, Green, and Merrill. That's your top 3. And in Pro-Am, Bowes leading the way from Sheehan. He's recovered well. So Bowes, Sheehan, and Prochuk stuck together in 13th, 14th, and 15th for that Pro-Am battle. Got a good story while we're under caution. Of course, Connor Mosak has been flipping around between Xfinity last year and then coming back for a full season this year. And he drives the number 57 for Silver Hair, and he was on duty on Thursday in Chicago doing some sponsorship work for NASCAR, and he looked down at his sort of test times that they were doing here, because you guys were testing on Thursday, and he saw the 57, and he went, wait a minute, I'm not out there. Turns out it was Maurice Hull in another car, his team boss.
Yeah, it was so good to see Maurice back inside the race car. It's been a long time. He had some knee replacement and things of that sort. So, you know, Maurice, Laura Hall, they're two people that really are. They're an inspiration. They live their lives the way as an inspiration for an example for how you should live your life. And they take really good care of people. They treat everyone with love and respect, and they're really a bright point in our paddock. And they love to support the talent. You know, they're very supportive of talent. I mean, Connor Zillage, I promise you, if you're watching Connor Zillage race anything, he's got silver hair somewhere. Well, either on the overalls or he's got on the race car somewhere, but silver hair. And the Halls are supporting these young drivers.
Yeah, and he's neighbors with them down in North Carolina, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, great story. In fact, you know, when you think of Silver Hair and you think of Nitro and you think of Scott Lagacy, all of them running programs to effectively arrive and drive, but they all offer the chance to get in a Trans Am if you are an up-and-coming racer from some other series. So have a look at Silver Hair, have a look at M1, and any of the teams.
Well, there's so many. Yeah, I mean, Mike Cope, BC Race Cars. I mean, the list really is a pretty long list of places that you can go inside this paddock. SLR, as you mentioned, Scott Lagacy Racing, Nitro Motorsports. You know, all these are, you know, Team Fast. You know, with Adrian Vlastowski, they've got, you know, Doug Winston underneath their tent and Eric Caton. So yeah, there's development all the way around. There's always a place that you can come and do your ride and drive program. You can own your car. There's Gio going down pit road with half a fender, and something Dale Earnhardt made famous back in the day.
Yep. Hey, listen, while we're under caution, shameless shout out to the All-Star event coming up in a few weeks. And my All-Star is in the race. I've got a pocket car of his, and I'm putting money on my man Andretti.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm
Who are you racing against?
I'm so proud to be racing with AJ Hendrickson. He's if Trans Am fans know AJ as ECC Motorsports, and the Hendrickson family are the reason why I'm in Trans Am. They believed in me and put me in TA2 cars early on in this series, and I'm here because of them, and it's going to be really fun and special for me to get to share that with them. And what a special event in Lime Rock. We cannot wait to do that on July 19th.
Now, one man who's looking after Jake Drew is one of the greats, Gil Martin with silver hair. Let's head down to Ben Sissel. He's with him.
With Gil Martin, Silver Hair Racing, Jake Drew seems to be really good, and based on how relaxed you guys seem here in the pits, it looks like everything's going okay.
Yeah, I think so. Jake's doing a great job at our Silver Hair Chevrolet. He's going to school right now. He's got a lot of experience out there around him, and he needs to learn a few things. He's on this racetrack. He's never been here before, but I mean, what an amazing job he's doing sitting on the pole on his 7th start. So we're looking forward to great things from him.
Yeah, and just looking at the body language here with Jeff Holly to my left and you to my right, so it is one of those smart things to say you've got some veterans in front of you, see what they do, and then near the end of the race you can really turn it on. Is that maybe part of the strategy?
Yeah, I think so, because of the fact this place is so hard on brakes because the speeds are so high getting in the corner. And Rafa and Merle and these guys have got so many laps here. I think he can just pace himself and kind of learn some things. And then when we come back here next year, he'll be really be a contender.
Well, Adam, talk to the relaxed atmosphere here in the body language and what that might mean for the driver and what's going to happen here later on in the race. Back to you, gentlemen.
Knowing Gil Martin and Jeff Holly like I do, that doesn't surprise me. There's even keel. What surprised me, Ben, is that you were sitting there. I mean, you're not that person. You're the one that's always up and at him. So it's nice to see that you got a little break as well. But no, Gil Martin, a legend. Yeah. Absolute legend in our sport. I've been a pain in his side since I was like 15 years old in the NASCAR paddocks, and but always admired the man and his knowledge and his abilities to make a race car go fast with that knowledge. So, you know, like I said, Maurice and Laura Hall, the people that they attract a lot of talent, not only behind the wheel, but just as important, if not in a lot of cases more important, you got to have that talent turning the wrenches.
Now, the safety car, the Corvette's still got its lights on, so we're still getting Abarte's car out of turn 14, which will be coming up to. And we've been talking about Jake Drew, just 24 from Fullerton, California, and his 7th race. That is such an accolade to be pole in your 7th race of Trans Am at this level.
And on top of that, and I speak to this a lot for the fans at home, because you see how they drive, and we can certainly talk about their performances that you're looking at, but the human beings that they are outside the car. And this Jake Drew always has a smile on his face, always is just such a pleasure to be around. And he's got the speed, and I say that with just the utmost amount of sincerity, because he's just a pleasure to be around. So that's what you want in the sport. When the fans approach him, he's smiling and interacting with them and getting down on the level with the little kids and inspiring that next generation. So yeah, to see him perform on the racetrack, that's also extra special. But how they do outside the race car, that means a lot to me as well.
Yeah, and what you may not know is that Drew obviously got experience in the NASCAR Truck Series and ARCA in 21 and 23, but first time at Road America. So to take the pole at a track like this, first time.
It's not easy. It's not easy. No, this place is a tricky racetrack. And again, Gil Martin said it down there. He's around drivers that have a large amount more miles on their odometer around this place than he's got. And a massive amount more. I mean, he's behind. Look at Mike Skeen. He's behind Mike Skeen.
Yeah.
You can just sit. I mean, you can learn something behind Mike Skeen under pace laps. So no. I mean, he's going to school in a lot of ways. I think it's really smart. And Gil spoke to what we were talking about before, right? There's so much speed you have to take off these cars. So many large braking exercises here that it's more about taking care of the brakes than it seems the tires. Looks like the tires are going to be underneath these cars all the way to the end. You're going to have to really save those brakes, so it's going to be a really, really important brake-saving race, I feel.
Well, I said it was an important weekend for the Coke Racing team, especially Thomas Merrill, second in the championship. So let's get the latest with Ben Sissel.
Well, thank you. I'm here with Bowser, and I don't know if you guys have covered this yet, but Thomas Merrill was telling me at the grid walk he's not feeling top-notch, but right now he's currently in third. Bowser, what's your driver saying?
Well, whenever you're running as good as he is right now, that's top-notch medicine right there. We just need a long run here for this HP Tuners Coke chassis, and he thinks it's going to come back to him. They're going to come back to him as soon as they are.
Yeah, they're about to come to green. I got to let him go to work. But also, you're talking about HP Tuners. Keith Prochuk doing really well. Gentlemen, back to you.
Yeah, it's good to hear from Bowser there, and same thing that I heard from Thomas Merrill on grid. He wasn't feeling good a little bit, but he said once that green drops, the adrenaline will take over, and adrenaline is amazing medicine. It's the best medicine on the planet.
It's an interesting chemical.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I've raced with broken bones and all kinds of aches and pains, and you get inside the race car, you strap those belts on, and you hear that green flag drop, or you just fire the engine. It all disappears. It all just goes away, and then you pay for it later. But no, it's good to see he's feeling good out there. He's running so strong, and it's good to see Thomas Merrill back up front with that HP Tuners Mike Cope prepared 26 car.
Yep, of course, our 2022 champion up against Rafa all the way to the final race at COTA, and I've got a feeling this championship may well go that way too. And of course, between then and here, we've got some fantastic iconic circuits. We're going to Canada for the first time. We're also going to be at Watkins Glen, VIR, and of course, Circuit of the Americas to finish it all off.
Lights are out.
Yep, as you can see, the Corvette's lights have stopped flashing, so therefore, again, now the preparation starts for Rafa Matos. He's got to do it all again, but he's got to come up with another trick now, really, hasn't he? He did a good job. He had the brakes on going up the hill. He's basically saying, I'm not going anywhere. Where are you going?
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what he pulls off this time, but he got an amazing restart last time. And I will say this, that I'll bring up what I brought up last time. The 89 car doesn't seem to fire off. When the tires will lose the temperature that they lose, that 89 car didn't pick up that speed until like lap 2, lap 3 after the restart. Rafa, boom, was green, and that thing was up to speed. So we'll see if that's again the case, or maybe Austin had a little bit dirtier tire last time, but we'll see what the case is this time. I've seen a lot of chassis rolling out of that 89 car too. The front end is really in the air as it comes down the straightaway and then slams down. I mean, it's even in the air right now. That's way up high on the 89 car, and keep an eye on that and give you a little difference in the kind of the way the chassis. Why would you choose that? I don't know. We've always it's amazing to see the speed out of the car with it like that, because it's always about getting the rake in the car and the nose down. But we're coming to the green here. Rafa, not on the brakes this time.
Yeah, I can say, watch his lights. He's not braking this time. He's just trailing it on. 1, 2, 3.
Got another great start. Got another great start.
Merrill gets away well, 0-2 in third. Watch him in the blue and white in third position. Skeen defensive from Drew. Sorry, from Mosak, I should
say.
say.
Drew.
It is Drew. Okay, Mosak just
You're
behind
right.
him.
Yeah. Mosak's just ahead of them.
Yeah.
And then you got Ben Mayer here.
Here comes Mayer and Annunziata.
Yep, and loving those restarts. Those two are, considering they had to come from the tail. When you come from the tail like that, if you don't get any cautions, it makes your job much harder.
Well,
now
Merrill's
that every time
taking
it gets
too.
punched up, and Merrill gets around the 89.
Yeah.
And again, I spoke about this last time. It might be the way that the chassis is working on Austin Green. That nose being in the air, just again not really bring that thing to. And it looks like the 7 car got around him as well. The 57 of Connor Mosak.
Yeah, Mosak's in good position. Skeen's still in the thick of it, but now Mayer is there. And Annunziata right behind him. Brent Cruz, the youngsters, the young guns as we call them. And of course they're racing for a Young Guns Championship led by Annunziata at the moment. Just 7 points between he and Mayer at the start of this race. Back with Barry Bowes.
Back with Barry Bowes. I tell you, watch a Boris Said Jr. just drive that thing.
Oh, that's an Andretti move. He waved at the onboard.
Mike Skeen got hit by, looks like Jake Drew got into the corner of Mike Skeen. Got him out of sorts here before we get into the carousel in turn number 8. 9-10 through the carousel here. But look at, Thomas Merrill really took charge. He's not letting Rafa run away here. Thomas is feeling the flow right now.
Yeah, and I said at the beginning of the weekend that he needs a good, strong finish. In second place, well, it won't do, but it's not a bad way to be in the middle of this race. 18 of the 25 gone, just over halfway. And look at the speed. That camera really tells it, doesn't it? And it's great to see Gio back out there, Gio Ruggiero.
Yep, back out there with some tape on that damage, and he'll do the best he can. He's many laps down. It's about, getting the points, getting the experience for him. A young driver, just about getting that experience.
No change in the Pro-Am, both still leading in 13th overall. Sheehan in second place and Prochuk behind him in 15th. We look at Lostowski trying to recover here, side by side.
Looks like Prochuk is going to try and get that toe behind Lostowski to try and get that position in the Pro-Am class.
This is going to be an interesting finish because we've got some really fast drivers, including this man, Austin Green.
Yeah, that 89 car again. Now, this is around the time that it started to come back to life. So we're going to start to see it have to fight its way back, and he'll be in there with his hands folded just praying that we don't get another caution because there's really been a detriment to the way that 89 car fires off.
Well, here's a replay. Let's take a look at high above. There's Matos going through, and as we look on the inside, that was the moment of touch.
A late move. I think he chose to go inside instead of hitting him in the back. I think Jake was a little bit deeper on the brakes there, and he made a move in there. And Mosak trying to make a late move on the 26, moves him to go up the hill out of the Mission Foods turn 5 up the hill to turn 6, side by side. It looks like he did not complete that pass. Merrill keeps that position and then brought the 89 right in the mix. So you better watch your back door there, Connor Mosak. He covers up the inside. Austin deep, late on the brakes.
Austin
squeezes it in there and will not have the position going in the carousel. We'll have to maybe get snuck in. The Jake Drew sneaks it in on the inside of the carousel.
That's good work from Drew. Look at that.
And then I could promise you, Thomas Annunziata wants a piece of that. Yeah, he's going to want a piece of that.
He shuts the door, does he? Yes. Annunziata's got drive, though.
What great shots from this drone.
I know, love it.
What great shots.
Really do see the racecraft from above. And wonderful stuff.
And Rafa's just like, enjoy it back there, boys. I'm going to check out. But
well, he's had to work for it. He's had so many restarts. He's had to really absolutely be on it. Mosak, that's your top three, and in PA it's Sheehan, And then Odrick is now back up. He's up to 15th again. So Jared Odrick, and Caleb Bacon has just gone off track, and that could potentially... Ben Mayer also in the thick of it. Annunziata out of shape. Skeen duffed up at 5.
I mean,
and Annunziata's got past Mayer.
He's right behind Austin Green. I mean, that's just amazing to make that hunt through the field like he's done in that 90 car. And like I said, Bayshore Mortgage found the right pony to clamp onto here with Thomas Annunziata, and doing a good job for you, making you proud out there. And I mean, Caleb Bacon, he's buried pretty good in the kitty litter here. Don't know where exactly that is from where I'm watching. I'm going to guess that's down there in the Mission Foods turn 5 would be my guess, but I'm not 100%. It could be up there at the top of turn 6 as well, just as easy.
CB Motorsports, relatively new to Trans Am, and of course got a storied history in IMSA. And they were talking about how it's almost hard to prepare these cars compared to what they've prepared in the past, because they are so much more simple, in a good way, than some of the IMSA cars with all the traction control and all the aids, if you will. So they're used to preparing more sophisticated cars. So to get the best out, and you know this better than anybody, to get the best out of any of the marks in Trans Am, you've really got to know the car.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean, it's so important as a driver that you need to know every aspect of your car, and that's what separates really the best from the rest.
Yeah.
The best will know their cars inside and out, every little bit about it, spring rate, bars, what size bar they're running, shock valving, brake bias, every ounce, tire pressure, starting tire pressure, what our target pressures are. You want to be overloaded with information. The higher up you are on the level and where you want to run, you want overload of information, honestly, and you want to try and capitalize on that. As we see
coming down into 5.
There's a move here from the...
This is Annunziata getting a tap. There he is, gets a tap from Skeen, and that allows Ben Mayer to get a little closer. So Skeen the cause of that and loses out the most from it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a little tricky area down there in the braking zone. Looks like they got Caleb free. Again, I'm not sure where we're at here on course, but they got him out of the kitty litter, back on board there with Adrian just for a split second. But now you have, Borstead Jr. right behind Mike Skeen there in the 8th and 9th position. And then Brent Cruz has really just kind of had a struggle day here today in his championship car there in the number 1 car. Running from there, the defending champ, coming off his win at Mid-Ohio, has had a little bit of a struggle bus here today. Tom Sheehan leading in Pro-Am P12.
Yep.
And Jared Odrick, P2. Barry Bowes, point leader in PA, is P3 in that. So
only
really,
because
really
he went
run.
off at Canada Corner and went wide and was down to 24th, and now he's back.
You look at him, his lap time, his fastest lap is a 2:14.3. Rafa's is a 2:13.1. He's only 1.2 seconds off
amazing.
Of Rafa. I mean, that's impressive, Jared Odrick. You're gonna go home and relax after this one with a big smile, buddy. I can guarantee you that. So.
Business end now. 4 laps to go after this one.
I don't know where this race went, Jonathan Green. I looked up and I was like, what? There's 5 to go. Now, 4 to go.
We've had a lot of caution, but we've also had a lot of good racing.
A lot of exciting racing. I mean, other than I mean, and I mean this in the most gracious way, Rafa stinking up the show at the front. But that's exactly what he wants to do.
Absolutely.
That's what he's been so masterful at all year long. Is he's taken advantage of this great race car Nitro Motorsport puts underneath him every weekend.
And by the way, you're witnessing history. If you're a fan of the stats, Matos is creating history each and every weekend. Mid-Ohio, he took the overall number of race wins in TO2 to 23. If he does it again today, which he's on line to do, he'll take it to 24, and he just keeps rolling away.
Yeah, and here's that Pro-Am battle. You're looking at Odrick with a bunch of ripple bodywork too and everything, and it's still hanging tough right there. I didn't see Barry Bowes in that screen at all. Oh, there he is. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Barry's right behind Jared. And then you got the 3-car Adrian in the mix of this battle, and I'm sure Jared is back there like, just get out of my way so I can go race this thing. And Adrian's like, no, buddy, I need this spot just as bad as you do.
Well, I'm keeping a watch on the young guns, Annunziata versus Mayer. I told you earlier that it's 7 points. Here comes Odrick.
What a pass!
Nicely done by the BLK-sponsored 00.
Black Underwear is a sponsor, and and I tell you what, Adrian's getting a good look of that BLK, the back bumper. But, I mean, Jared is after this PA win.
Yeah.
He is on the tail of Tom Sheehan, and let's look at this, folks.
Wow,
this is
if
a
he
heck
does
of a battle.
that'll be so impressive.
This is a heck of a battle. The battle within a battle, right? That's what Pro-Am has created. It's created that race within a race. And where we say that, you know, like I jokingly said earlier, when Matos is out there kind of stinking out the show out front, just laying it down on him being a clinic, you know, setting out a clinic, we have this PA battle to watch, you know, between Tom Sheehan, Mr. Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, and Jared Odrick.
Yeah, watching it very close indeed. Also keeping an eye on whether Annunziata can hold off Mayer for the Young Guns. 20,000 up for grabs.
Yeah,
for that winner.
Annunziata's driven a great race again. So has Ben Mayer. Both coming from the tail of the field like that is a really, really strong move. You know, like I said, Road America is a track that it does lend itself to be able to do that better than a lot of the tracks. Some of the tracks we go to, especially the last two that we've been at, Pit Race in Mid-Ohio. Here's got a lot more passing opportunities. But look at Jared Odrick right on the back bumper of Tom Sheehan. Will he make the move into Q3 turn 1, Jonathan Green?
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? We can pass that commentary position flat out at over 170 miles an hour as they head down to, as you say, the Q3 turn 1. Odrick jigs out. Slight damage to the front of the car, but that's just a war wound. The ex-NFL man absolutely looking for the uprights right now. And looking to spike the ball, if he can, with a win in the Pro-Am Series.
He is driving so well.
Tommy Sheehan, the Iron Man, as we call him.
Yeah, he's this is really good performances by both these drivers. Jared has been getting off of turn 3, down this back straightaway, into the Mission Foods turn 5 really, really well. It's been
so
really good on the brakes.
Here he goes.
Here it comes. He's been releasing that brake, letting it roll a little bit. And you know, Thomas going to try the over-under, not going to be up next to him. You have to be right alongside.
Good work by Jared Odrick. You know, he said to me at Sebring at the start of the season, he said, you know, I said, how are you getting on? He goes, well, I've had a podium or 2 in Porsche. He said, but this whole thing, this racing thing, is just, I'm just not comfortable with it. He said, you know, when I was playing football, when I was, you know, coming through the ranks, he said, I felt so comfortable. I knew where to position my body. He said, I haven't got that with racing yet. And I said, yeah, but when you will, when you do, you'll be ahead of the game.
And I mean, what a day like today is doing for the confidence of a driver like Jared Odrick. You can't really put into words. You really can't even express it. So what we're going to see is in his future performances. You know, he's got a month and a half after this day is over and a couple laps. He's got a month and a half until our next event, points-paying event at Watkins Glen International. So he's going to have a lot of time just to sit there all, you know, and soak this in.
Well,
as Adrian,
he's just changed that battle. He's got between it.
And I tell you, Jared is sitting up there just licking his fingers, just happy that just happened because it put a gap in between.
That's important for him.
Oh, it is. Super. It just makes him relax, right? Now he can just kind of sit there and chill. And you got Tom Sheehan's got his meters full of Barry Bowes, who wants that P2 spot. But this is looking to be a very good Pro-Am
Don't count out Barry
podium.
Bowes for a move here. Look at this. Time running out, 24 to 25, and Barry Bowes looking to make a move as they come across the strip one more time. Odrick doing brilliantly so far. Jared Odrick from Pennsylvania. Had all his fans, from Ohio, excuse me, and had all his friends and family here last year.
Yeah, he's got some roots in Pennsylvania, so you weren't wrong on that.
He was a Penn State first pick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Brilliant, for the NFL.
Oh, he's the first pick down to Miami. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Thomas Merrill picking it up. You know, he's right there. He can be right on top of Rafa's lap times.
Oh, Austin Green and Ben Mayer going at it.
So unfortunately, just got a report on the 17 of Mike Skeen that the engine is done. So that's what we've been watching. I was skeptical of it because he was getting passed on the straightaways. You remember me making that call earlier, Jonathan Green, that he was getting passed on the straightaways. That's not a Mike Skeen type thing. You know, that means that he's not coming off the corner or he's got an engine issue. And when I'm talking about Mike Skeen, I'm going to go ahead and that he's got an engine issue. So this has taken Mike out. I hate that for all those that supported him here, but everyone knew Mike Skeen was back, and that's why he got the support that he got to be back in this Q3 Architecture TA2 Series.
Penultimate lap then, Matos, Merrill, Drew has recovered well to third place. Mosak, Green and Mayer still battling it out, and Annunziata very much in that battle. Here's Thomas Merrill. You just saw Rafa go through his shot. He's going through traffic. That could slow him down and give Merrill a chance to catch up, but I think he's running out of opportunities, is Thomas Merrill, because he's quite a distance. The gap 2 seconds now as we head towards that last lap.
And I think Jake Drew's going to be really happy with how he salvaged this, you know, where he did fall back to, I think, as low as P6, and now he's sitting in the last podium spot, as Rafa really has to get around this traffic, right, of Gallagher, Jim Gallagher. He wanted to make short work of that. But, you know, it definitely held him up a little bit to where now you got Merrill going to get a tow all the way down the long front straightaway here. White flag is out.
Well,
Thomas
the white
Merrill.
flag denotes that it's the last lap, but it could be just surrender for the rest of the field, because Matos has once again put on a masterclass, the Brazilian. Merrill, former champion himself. Matos, a two-time champion. Two of the best.
So 89 seemed to have gone off track at some point that we weren't able to catch. So that's where we lost 89 down to P7. But Ben Mayer has also got around Thomas and Annunziata because they have flip-flop positions. And Ben Mayer's now in the top 5. Thomas and Annunziata is P6. But definitely a really good showing here. We got a Nitro car, which is Cope Chassis up there leading this thing. Got a Cope car with obviously Cope Chassis Thomas Merrill. And then we have 2 Howe cars underneath the tent of Silver Hair and Jake Drew and Connor Mosak at P4, P5. And then you're back to the Nitro cars of the 80 and 90 of Mayer and Annunziata.
Hey, and Bose has got past Sheehan for second in PA.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, so the Pro-Am podium is not done being settled as well on this final lap.
Last lap then, what has been an intriguing Road America Classic. We're in the second half of the season as they go through the carousel for the last time, but Matos in full control. He's knocked it off a bit. The gap now 1.1 seconds between himself and Merrill. Drew still third.
Yeah, and I mean, Jared Odrick, you look at him, he's only 4 seconds from a top 10, a legit top 10.
That's really awesome.
And yeah, no, that's amazing. That's really good work by that man, and we're so fortunate to have him in this series and doing his thing. But right here's your top 3. It seems to be pretty sorted, so it's up to all of them to get through these last few corners clean. Here you got Canada corner, then you're going to have turn 13, the nice fun blind, one of my favorite turns on the track, and then you're going to come to Bennett Bridge Hall 14. Out of there, the long haul to this, the flag tower, the checker flags await you, the Concord American flagpole, Ford Mustang, a Rafa Matos, going to do it again, Jonathan Green.
Up the hill he comes, and you can raise that Concord flagpole and hoist it high for Rafa Matos as he takes the checkered flag here at Road America for yet another win to his storied career. That's a record 24 career wins in TA2. And what a win for the 00 BLK sponsored Jared Odrick, making a little bit of history as he's going to win in Pro-Am and celebrate for a man that's just started his career in racing, and he's winning already. That's a big moment.
I tell you, the Mosak Annunziata Mayer finish that I just saw come across this line was something for the books. I mean, you couldn't have thrown a blanket. You could throw a blanket over all of them. The hood was smashed up on the 90 car where no way he could see where he was going. So, I mean, if there's any way we grab a replay on that, that was one of the most amazing cross-the-line finishes I've ever seen, Jonathan Green.
Yep, confirmation then. Matos, Merrill, and Drew, and Jared Odrick wins in Pro-Am. Wow, that had everything, and it was great to be on board with Lostowski because he was in the thick of a lot of it too. And who's that parked up?
That's the 90 I was telling you about. The hood was up. No way. He came across the line that way, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I mean, it was craziest thing I've ever seen. That was some wild, typical Q3 Architecture TA2 stuff.
Yeah, all good stuff.
Good wild. I mean, what a great race in our Pro-Am ranks. That ends up being the podium of Jared Odrick, Tom Sheehan, and Keith Prochek. I don't know what happened to the 27 of Barry Bowes, but he dropped off of the podium right there at the end, and Keith Prochek is going to grab the last podium spot. So good on you, Keith. Great to have you around, and great to see you going to get to celebrate and spray some champagne, buddy.
Wow, that had everything. And Rafa Matos increases his lead in the championship. Thomas Merrill gets a very good and important second half of the season start by staying close to Matos. He won't have closed the gap, obviously, with Matos beating him. But it hasn't taken too many points away from Merrill's hopes of staying with Matos till the end of the season. Jake Drew, a podium last time out at Mid-Ohio, and another podium here, but this time from the pole. The young 24-year-old from California, definitely a new name to watch in Trans Am. And 25-year-old Connor Mosack, another good, respectable silver hair performance in the Camaro, taking fourth. And Thomas Annunziata, again, we take our hat off to the Bayshore Mortgage Nitro Motorsport 4 Mustang as he beats both Ben Mayer from the back, but more importantly, he gets up to fifth from the back. I think the fans enjoyed that as they settle underneath the trees.
Some good old-fashioned classic Road America racing right here. Big old classic Road America racing. Love to see it.
Yeah, great stuff. No question about it. Sun's come out. Puffy clouds, just what we wanted. And we welcome our fans on MAV TV back as Rafa Matos does it again and heads to victory lane.
Yeah, I mean,
another was immaculate performance and done in the hardest possible way. It's one thing to win a race clean with a full 25 laps. It's another to do 3 restarts.
Yeah, I know. Professor Rafa at work, right?
Yeah.
Like, he put on his clinic as he's been doing so often this year, and I'm just proud of him. You know, he no matter what kind of adversity he faces, he was really distraught last year at the end of the year, and look at him now. He's on top of the world.
Confirmation then of the results. Rafa Matos in the Ford Mustang for Nitro wins. HB Tuner's Cope Race Cars second. Thomas Merrill in a Mustang 2. Jake Drew in third. The pole man. Connor Mosack fourth. Annunziata Mayer Green. Ced Jr. qualified fifth. Finished at eighth. Not a bad result. Brent Cruz struggling a little bit in ninth. And Josh Hurley rounding out the top 10 for the Greenlight Simulation BCR car.
There he is.
And there he is. And you can see the 2 poles he's had. 2 stickers up there.
Record breaker right here, man.
Yeah, it's turning out to be another classic Rafa Matos year. And he's already a 2-time champion.
Let me know.
And he gets the net down. And as soon as he gets out, we'll head down to Ben Sissel. And we'll hear from the Brazilian.
Give us the number ones. Watch this.
There you go.
There it is. 4.
There just
4
letting you
wins.
know.
Look at that right there.
Pointing to the back of his helmet, of course. Little help from inspiration from up above. Shall we put it that way?
Yeah.
So let's head down to Ben Sissel, who's about to talk to our winner, Rafa Matos of Brazil.
So I'm here with Rafa Matos, just adding to that points lead. We're going to have a great celebration here at Road America Winner's Circle. But Rafa, this has got to feel really good, just stretching that gap even more.
Feels amazing, Ben. I was praying for the Lord that I would finish the race because I was driving one-handed for the last 10 laps. The car was popping out of gear, and for a couple times Merrill was really close to me because the car simply went to neutral in the middle of the carousel and in the last sector, and he was able to catch up. But I think we had a really strong car today. I was able to make time the rest of the track. Hats off to the Nitro Motorsports guys. They worked their ass off, you know. They prepare a fantastic car. Concord American Flag Pole Company believe in this program. Chris Dyson, a big supporter of mine, a great friend, and our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you so much.
Nice. How about that, Rafa Matos? But ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special treat. Clear some room because Jared Odrick told me he gets on the top step. He's going to do the same dance he did in the NFL. Let's see if he's got the energy, but you got to make it work, Jared.
Well, it's got to come back, you know. I don't know.
No, come on. Nice. How about that? First place, unbelievable Jared Odrick in Pro-Am. He gave us the dance he did in the NFL after sacking the likes of like Tom Brady. But man, this has got to feel so good, Jared. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I'm doing my best not to cry. I have a lot of goals within racing, and I don't want to treat this like the championship because it's not. I just want to keep this going, and I'm just so happy that I was able to run with Nitro, and everybody there would just been awesome. Black underwear, thank you, and thanks to this guy,
brother.
This guy.
What a drive by this
Chief,
guy, huh?
Crew Chief Cody, man, he hung in there with me. mean, we had a tough first week at Pittsburgh, and we've just been fighting back ever since.
And then your competitors, you got Bose, Prochuk, Sheehan. You got a lot of competitors out there, and then to get Sheehan there near the end, that had to feel good.
No, it felt awesome. I spun in Canada corner. Somebody locked up in front of me, and then I did. And so, I stalled out, turned it back on, and, that feeling felt familiar, but we got it back on and got it running, and we were able to pass a few people before the end.
Nice. Well, congratulations, and Nitro, nice job. I'm going to send it back up to you in the booth. We're about to celebrate here at Winner's Circle.
Well, that was as good a celebration as you'd want. Jared saying it like it is. Well, you can understand now. You've heard from him what it means to him and why we were excited for him, because it's a great story. And, Cube 3 Architecture, Nick Middleton congratulating him. But what a great story. To change disciplines as a professional athlete, never easy at all. So that had everything, and we had restarts, we had crashes, we had electrical difficulties, we had all sorts going on. Let's take a look at the highlights. Off we went then. Jake Drew in the all-grey started in the lead. Sheehan took to the grass for a minute. That allowed Merrill to come through. That was our first safety car. That was Patrick Paul causing the slowdown. And then at the restart, Matos under pressure again. Lostowski turned around at 14. Kept it going, though. Good race for Lostowski. And in the middle of it all, the HP Tuners, 26 of Thomas Merrill. Barry Bowes leading for a while, but Odrick made great moves at 5 and would take the checkered flag. But it was Matos again as he extends his lead in the championship. Wow, catch your breath. But we are definitely very, very happy for Jared Odrick. And let's take a look at our cool move of the weekend. And it has to be this man, doesn't it? Jared Odrick, look at this. For the lead on Tommy Sheehan. See ya. And that was at 5, but that was just one of many moves that he did at 5. And as you heard, he spun round. The recovery was brilliant. He spun at Canada corner earlier in the race. And there he goes on Lostowski as well. So it just kept on rolling, all at turn 5. So Odrick, man of the moment, and our cool move of the race. Well done to him. More coming from the Speed Tour, more great races to come for the weekend. And of course, we've got TA qualifying coming. Let's head down once again to Victory Lane and Ben Sissel.
Now, Road America, get loud. This is going to be fun. Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. I love coming to Road America because of the fans and the crowd, and we know that you guys love the Trans Am Series. It's kind of like two were meant for each other. We've got some great celebrations here. We are going to start actually in Pro-Am. He calls this his home track. With HP Tuners, Mike Cope Race Cars, 3rd place. I think he was down a plug wire running on 7 cylinders. Let's hear it. Keith Prochuk. Come on, Wisconsin. You got to get louder than that. I know he's from Chicago, but this is his home track. Nick Middleton, don't get away from me. How about that race out there?
That was a well-fought race by everybody today. It's always a long race here. It's fast into the corners, a lot of braking, but I think all the teams had a lot of fun today, and congratulations to everybody, not just on the podium, but all the teams that actually made this happen and Trans Am, so congratulations.
Nice. Well, we have the CEO and owner of Cube 3, Nick Middleton here. How about that? Who wants a stress cube? There we go. Oh, ground ball. There we go. We might have a fight for it. Keith, nice job. In 2nd place, Pro-Am. Doing really well in the Pro-Am. The number 97 Vixen Cycle Company. Mike Cope Race Cars. Let's hear it for Tom Sheehan. Tom Sheehan. There he comes. He was talking to our champion, Chris Dyson. You guys got to get louder than that for Tom Sheehan now. All right, you are about to see a Trans Am first. This gentleman right out of the NFL. And when he used to sack the likes of Tom Brady, maybe even Aaron Rodgers, he would do this certain dance. If you guys get loud, we're going to see Jared Odrick give us the Jared Odrick victory dance. Come on, Jared. Let's see that. The shake and the Pee Wee Herman. How about that, Wisconsin? Jared Odrick's first Pro-Am win. Nice job. Well, Keith Prochek, I know that your family, friends, employees were here, but Bowser told me about halfway through that you might have been down a plug wire.
Yeah, about 10 laps in, we lost the plug. I think that was our race to win. We had a lot of pace, and then, but yeah, just that's how it goes. But congrats to Jared. Fantastic win. And Tom, I saw you guys battling for a while. Really great to see. You guys did a fantastic job out there. Great job.
Nice. You want to thank anybody?
Yeah. Thanks to all the HP Tuners fans, co-workers, family that came out. Love seeing you guys out there. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, I love seeing all the black Keith Prochek HP Tuner shirts. Vixen Cycle Company, Tom Sheehan, man, near the end, you and Odrick just went at it. That was a Pro-Am battle for the ages.
Yeah, there was a lot of lead changes. It was fairly clean, I'd say, for TA2. And I just want to thank the guys at Cope, and they gave me a great piece. And all weekend, we didn't get a lot of time, but it was there when we needed it. And Vixen Motorcycles is really excited, and things are going great with them, and we love it. So happy to be here, and great job. Odrick was, he drove it, he wanted it, man. He wanted it.
Nice. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Sheehan. And then Jared Odrick been working at it. Not his first time on the podium with us, but first time on the Top Step Pro-Am. Jared, take the mic. That's got to feel good.
No, it feels great, and when you're going around that last lap, you're thinking about everybody that you want to thank. And I know I'm going to miss people, but I want to say thank you to my girlfriend Crystal. I want to say thank you to Black Underwear. I want to say thank you to Cody. I want to say thank you to Nitro. It's been amazing to be able to come over there and just the welcome that I've received. And thank you to Chad Bacon Motorsports as well for helping me get into this series in the first place, and to Mike Skeen and all of his initial convincing. If I want to become a better driver, then I better run TA2.
Nice. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, a first in Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. All right, hold those up. Look at the photographers there. Hold the trophies up. Keep it up, Wisconsin. We love this crowd of Wisconsin. Even you, David Posey. All right, Jared is going to throw out the teddy bear, or you can keep it, whatever you want to do. Oh, he lost the hat. Oh, look at that. Hold on now. We've got a hat, too. You get a hat with that, too. Jared's arm, just too much. Will you give that to him there? There we go. All right, hold those up. Come on, Wisconsin, get loud. Keith Prochek, Tom Sheehan, Jared Odrick. There we go. He's throwing the cubes out. I love it. To the HP tune. Look at that. Ooh, Tom Sheehan got some height on that thing. Nice job. Uh-oh, Joe. Uh-oh. We're about to have a fight up here, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Claridge. All right, Wisconsin, the Dairy State. I need you to get loud one last time. Keith Prochek, Tom Sheehan, Jared Odrick, Pro-Am TA2, Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. Cope Racing, Nitro Motorsports. Congratulations, guys. We've got some champagne here, so watch out. We'll see what happens. Oh, they're going right for it. Going right for the eyes. How about that, Wisconsin? Nice job. Congratulations, guys. Nice job, Keith. Nice job, Tom. Nice job, guys. How about that? Pro-Am TA2 Series. Keith Prochek, Tom Sheehan, Jared Odrick. Unbelievable show. Jared Odrick, congratulations. First win in Pro-Am. Now we go to Cube 3 Architecture, TA2 Series, National Masters. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us back halfway through the year, another Masters win. Where is Three-Dimensional Services Group, Doug Peterson? Come on, Wisconsin, get loud. Here he comes. A long-time, huge supporter of the series and a Trans Am champion, Doug Peterson, out here. How's it feeling?
Feels great. This is about my 25th year coming here. So, feels good. I love the weather compared to last week.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody you want to thank for this Masters victory?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank the fans, right?
Yeah, of course.
How about that? Thank to the fans, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Peterson, Masters Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. How about that? Doug Peterson, three-dimensional, is also competing this season in the Xfinity Series. So look for them with Austin Green in the Xfinity Series. Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series National Championship. The points race is heating up. This gentleman had never been to Road America before, one of the most difficult tracks on our circuit, and he got pole for Silverhair Waukegan Farms. Let's hear it. Jake Drew, third place. First time at Road America, Wisconsin. Make him feel welcome. And I forgot to mention Laura's quarter horses. Is that right? I want to say, I'm from Tennessee, so it's a different horse there. Quarter horses, Waukegan Farms. Jake Drew, third place with Silverhair Racing. In second place, our champion just 2 seasons ago, number 26, HP Tuners, Cope Race Cars, Thomas Merrill. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got to get louder than that because Thomas Merrill at the grid walk told me he's been feeling a little under the weather, but obviously it didn't affect him too much. Second place for him. And then in first place, just kind of running away with this. Seems like almost every other weekend he notches another most wins in TA2 Series history. Our current points leader, let's hear it, Rafa Matos. Concord American Flagpole Company, the number 60 Nitro Motorsports car, here with Nick Middleton. Jake Drew, you get the pole, and then kind of early on you fall back a little bit and really had to fight through. I spoke to Gil Martin, your crew chief, halfway through. He wasn't worried. He knew that you had the machine and you were going to come through. How's it feel to be on the podium first time at Road America?
It feels awesome to be up here on the podium the first time at Road America and in the Cube 3 Dimensional TA2 Series. It's awesome to be back up here for my third podium of the year. I did manage the race my best I could in the beginning and lost a lot of track position that hurt me bad, but I knew my Silverhair machine was going to be fast today all day and just had to keep my head in and keep digging and finally started to make up spots there and wound my way back up here.
Nice. How about that? Road America. Let's welcome Jake Drew to Road America. Come on now. This is always a favorite stop for our drivers. Thomas Merrill, you told me you weren't feeling great, but man, I guess that adrenaline kicked in and you had a great race.
Yeah, man, this feels like a win. We've had a rough couple races, but it's great to come to HP Tuner's backyard and do well. The Mike Cope Racing team gave me a wonderful race car, and it was awesome. I wish we could have given Rafa a little more grief there towards the end, but it feels like a win given what we're coming off of and how I feel today. So thanks, everyone, for coming out. It's great to see all the fans out, too.
Nice. I love it. I echo that. We love the Road America fans. Thank you guys so much. Rafa, take the mic. Tell us about your race.
What a day, what a day. Thanks for the fans for coming out. It was a very special day for us, definitely. Fourth win of the season. A great moment for us, great moment for Nitro Motorsports. Hats off to every single member of the team. This is a group effort, and I wanna congratulate Tyler Kisera also. A lot of times, Tyler is the mastermind behind that team. He's a great man, great driver. Concord American Flagpole Company. My biggest supporter, Chris Dyson, thank you very much for believing in this program. It's been a good day for us, and hopefully we'll come back after the summer break even stronger and wrap up the championship. Thank you.
Nice. How about that, Wisconsin? We have 3 of our top teams up here. We've got Silverhair, Cope, and Nitro. Jake Drew, Thomas Merrill, Rafa Matos. Come on, Wisconsin. Get loud. I like that. Oh, who wants a teddy bear? Rafa's going to throw out the teddy bear. Let's see. Who's the loudest? Oh, there we go. Nice job. That's a good catch, too. Then we're going to hold those up, gentlemen. Hold the Cube 3 stress cubes up. And then who wants a Cube 3 stress cube? Come on now. Who's got the arm? There we go. Thomas throws it out to the HP Tuners. Yeah, you can come up. That's okay. Thank you, guys. We love the fans here at Road America. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Nice. Nice. Good catch. All right, Wisconsin is coming up to your last chance here. We need Wisconsin to get loud, louder than these cars on track. Jake Drew, Thomas Merrill, Rafa Matos, the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series here at Road America. Such a great track for Trans Am. Fantastic spectators. I want to just give a big shout out, thank you to the Road America crew. Everybody is always great to work with. We love coming here, but get loud, Wisconsin. Hitting them with the champagne, going right for the eyes. Jake, great performance. Nice job. Nice job. All right, Rafa, you're going to stay up here. You guys are excused because our Omo Legato fastest lap goes to Rafa Matos. Receives a brand new Omo Legato watch. How about that? Rafa Matos, nice job. And I'm going to make this gentleman do this one more time because our cool box, cool move goes to Jared Odrick. Come on now, Jared. We got to see that victory dance one more time. Oh, no, we got to see it. No, it's hard to see. You know, you can't do it, huh? Too hot? Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, a little change to it. The cool box, the iceless cooling suit, and after you got out, that's got to feel pretty good.
No, it felt great. It felt great. We just put this in the car, and it's working, and it was awesome. It took my body temperature down, and I was able to make some good moves in this.
Nice. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Jared Odrick, cool box, cool move of the race. No, he doesn't throw that one out there. He's going to hold on to that one. Yeah. Thanks, Jared. All right, well, we got one more hat up here. Who wants a hat? Boo! There we go. And Eric's got some stress cubes. Stress cubes, anybody? There we go. That does it for the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series this year. Tomorrow, the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli will be back right here. Please meet us in Winter Circle. Nitro, come up here for your family photos. But gentlemen, back to you in the booth.
Great stuff as always, Ben, and yeah, some genuinely happy folk up there, especially Jared Odrick. What a great story to bring that young man who has left his NFL time to now go motor racing and to have that success at one of the most iconic circuits and to do it in such style as well. Really impressive. Now, don't forget, if you want to tell everybody about Odrick's moves and see it all again, don't forget, Thursdays is Trans Am night on MAV TV. And we start our coverage July 4th at 8 p.m. You'll be bored by then. You'll have done all the celebrations. And you'll be ready for the fireworks. But the fireworks start on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. TA2 Series, followed by TA. And, of course, that race coming up tomorrow. That's 9 p.m. Eastern on July 4th. So, great start to the weekend for our feature race in TA2. Congratulations to Rafa Matos as he increases his lead now with 4 wins. We'll leave you with some great moments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, TA coming up tomorrow, but more great racing to come coming your way.
Hungry for SVRA action? Well, the best way to enjoy classic auto racing is with a delicious classic from Mission Foods. Green flag your race-watching snacks with Mission's mouth-watering race day recipes. Try some of our tasty tacos, piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. So gear up your ride and fuel up those stomachs with delicious Mission foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
You've got a business to run, big and heavy products to ship, and customers who need them now. When you've got the right driver and the right equipment, you can bet on a spectacular result. Bennett understands complex logistics and puts the best team, the most time, and the latest technology into every customer relationship. So you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the race. Let us handle the rest.
Together, we can move anything.